going on? Tried getting in a little bit ago, and it kept telling me live was ended.
Oh, that's because I couldn't get it going right away.
Oh.
You know me. Yeah, simple minds.
What's that rattling?
All the stuff inside the front seat. That, I've got a loose corner fender I've got to tighten up when I get stopped tonight. I noticed that after they got it washed, it must have washed away the gunk that was holding it together. Gotta love it. Old trucks, man. Old trucks.
Who all did you share it with?
Right now, just you. I didn't get it out to anybody because I'm not, driving down the road. I'm not going to try to stare at the screen and try to get this shared out. So I just kind of got it started. We'll see who pops their head in.
Oh.
Somebody wants a box, they can go grab a box.
Let's see here.
Kind of makes me a little worried about who's actually going to grab a box, but actually I don't. It doesn't matter to me. Figure why not? I'm sure people, I've seen some negative mindsets on this whole ELD versus paper log. I'm seeing a lot of negative mindsets. We just launched out the new thing there, so I figure if people got questions, now's the time to jump in here and do some asking.
Right.
Their opportunity,
Yeah, I just shared it to a few. Let's see if anybody jumps in on it.
I ain't got nothing to do the next 2 hours. Well, I've got service for the next 2 hours. Then I'm hitting the hills going across, jumping off 55 and going through the mountains. Up through the backwoods to Arkansas. So as soon as I start into the backwoods, that'll be the end of my service. Figured I must get jump on there now while I can.
Hey, Cisco.
Oh, how's it going, guys?
What's going on, Cisco?
Real quick, pop my head in. Listen to that rattling quarter fender.
No, Joe.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, too. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, you'll get annoyed with it as much as I am. I figured if I'm going to be annoyed, I might as well annoy everybody else.
Right. Thanks for that, man. We appreciate that.
No, absolutely. I had to make everybody else's day just a little bit better.
Right. I hear you. So what's up? What's going on, man? I saw your very serious video. I didn't get the chance to finish it, but...
Oh, the one that I just posted up?
Yeah.
We're taking on something bigger. You know how we are. We're not just about the trucking community. We're about every community. Currently, under FMCSA regulations, it basically, how do I use the term? I got to use the right term or I'm going to end up getting kicked off of here. If you're a sexually dangerous person, the only way that you can have your CDL revoked under FMCSA regulations is if you're caught doing it while in a commercial motor vehicle.
Oh.
So basically, if you have done something of that sort and you have a CDL, you have the opportunity to cross all 48 states with FMCSA basically not carrying. So we have filed a change.org petition, which is going to take a lot of signatures, but we got 90 days on it. to get that changed, because it's got to go through, it's going to have to go through legislation, it's going to have to go through the whole 9 yards in order to change the actual code to basically eliminate those individuals from obtaining or retaining a CDL.
Okay. Yeah,
and that's the whole point, is to remove them from the communities that are out here, remove them from our communities, protect not only our sisters that are out here on the road, sleeping in these truck stops with who knows who, but also protecting our daughters, our sons, our wives, our aunts, uncles, mothers, whatever. You're protecting, every community that we serve as well as our own, and that's kind of the goal.
I see. Okay, yeah. So, where did you say the petition was to sign?
If you go to the click on the video and go to the the section I write everything in, the link is right in that, and I believe I put it inside the comments as well.
Gotcha. I'll definitely check that out.
And we're just getting this started. Literally, I think he posted it yesterday, if I'm not wrong. So there's only his and literally my wife's signature on it right now. And it's brand new, absolutely brand new. But we're getting it pushed anyway. What's going on, Dex?
Mr. Mad, how we doing, sir?
Not too awful bad, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to hear from you, sir.
Good deal. You too.
Yeah, I'm buddies with your good friend Miss Charlie now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I met her earlier in the week, and I had to bounce out, and then I came back in, and she was at IHOP, and Mr. Transporter was in there, and I'm buddies with him now. And it turns out they hooked up 28 years ago and didn't know it.
Wow.
And that night they figured it out. South Carolina.
Yeah, hey, it's this is a whole different world out here, man. It was good to bump into her. It was good. We had coffee. We talked about how to bring the camaraderie back. We were trying to figure out how to come up with, like spring, summer, and fall, come up with ideas to get the back row party going again. We got some ideas. It's just a matter of trying to find a way to implement them and boost up the camaraderie out here.
Oh, I told her. I said, every time I roll in a truck stop, I ask everybody, hey, I'm going to Applebee's or Hibachi. You guys want to join me? How do we get there? Just hop in my truck, dude. We're going to bobtail there. So,
that's it.
I'm like, and I'll tell them straight up, if you guys want to get blasted in here, I'm fine. I don't drink. I'm sober, buddy. I'll make sure you make it back to your truck. Are you serious? Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm your friend.
Listen,
I'm like,
we need to get back to it. Yes. Yeah. I mean, listen, come on. This is our industry.
Yeah.
This is our lifestyle. If you can't look at the driver parked beside you without judging and just say, they're doing the same job I am, then big deal. Hey, let's go get a bite to eat. I don't know you.
Yeah.
You don't know me.
I don't need to. Let's go get to know each other. Let's break bread.
Yeah,
I just don't understand it, man. Everybody's so angry these days, and your own coworker, some dude, chick, in the same truck that you drive, man, your same company. I don't understand it.
Well, that's the world today. Everybody's angry without putting it aside and saying, you know what, we can have better. All we got to do is do better. And that's all it is.
Hey, sir, listen. Bernie wants to come up. She's a very beautiful Irish British chick with a big bum, and she follows Dexy around. That's going to be Dexy's next affair. But yeah, she's in the comments if she requests up. But yeah,
all you're gonna do is grab a box.
Yeah, grab a box. I'll put her in it.
All you gotta do is grab a box. This is me driving, man. I ain't got much to do. I wanted to talk, get a little more of what FOPT's doing.
Oh, definitely.
And be able to talk to a few truck drivers, and that's why we're on here, man.
Yeah, I requested Sarah come in. Her live just ended, so she'll be in here in a few minutes.
We can't change. The Federation can only do so much.
Right.
If the trucking community doesn't back it, nothing goes, nothing happens, nothing changes.
Oh, I totally agree. It's like, I mean, everybody just needs to get together, and then we can all have a meal, and we can all, everybody can air what they have to air. Tell me how your day is, and let's go from there. I just don't understand it. I just there are so many affordable restaurants, right? Like Applebee's just came out with a 22-ounce steak for $29.99. I mean, that's one of the cheapest steaks out there at a national chain restaurant right now. Just dropped over the weekend.
Listen,
I've been promoting it all over.
well, you gotta, like I said, it takes all of us. Nothing changes. I'm watching a lot of people. I'm seeing a lot of negative.
Yep.
Why bother? Why do this? Why do that? And literally, my response, and it's continually going to be my response, is you got two choices. You can stand up and fight back, or you can lay down like a whip dog. It's one or the other.
I totally agree. I don't understand.
I'm going to stand up. I'm going to toe the line. I'm going to keep fighting until the day that good Lord pulls me out of this world. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't understand it. I mean, if you want to change something, you got to fight for it and do it, and you can make it happen. You can make it happen. But
Hey, Dexy, almost 170 comments in 48 hours.
Yeah.
170. That's not a joke. That's actually a big freaking number in 48 hours to get that many comments.
right.
I don't know how many are pro. I don't know how many are against. I'm not reading them all yet, but there's a lot of pro. And all you've got to do is go make your voice heard. FMCSA can only ignore so much. Those numbers go through the roof. They cannot sit there and go, well, we had 5,000 people for, and we had, 40 against, but we're going to put this on the back page burner, because then all you're doing is ticking us off even more. Now we know how many people have stood up to this, and you still ignored us. Now there's a big problem.
Oh, by far. I mean, there's an old saying: the squeaky wheel gets the most attention. That's what you got to do.
And that's the point. And I'll make this known. Anybody that's jumping in here, I am hands-free. I am Bluetooth. I am not looking at the phone. I am literally just trucking. So, y'all ain't got nothing to say to me. I'm not even reading your comments. I can't.
There we go.
So if you want a box, get in the daggone box and talk like a big adult. Put some big boy pants on. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go trucking. Really, if we just bring the camaraderie back, I've talked to Mr. Cupcake about it a few times, and that is the key to this trucking. We got to get people relaxed out of the truck. Nothing better than breaking bread with somebody and just lay it down.
Actually, you just had to mention them, didn't you?
Yes, sir, Mr. Cupcake. Well, I saw him in the
You
comments.
have to take the emotion. You have to take the emotion out of the conversation.
Yeah.
If you don't take the emotion out of the conversation, the brain won't work.
Well, get them out of the truck where they're not as irritated, upset, because whenever you talk to somebody, they're actually on the job, they're extremely irritated. They don't really want to listen to what you have to say. So get them out of the truck. If you have to get a little alcohol in them and get them a little relaxed and lay it down to them. And I've just found that works best dealing with truck drivers. Get them out of the environment, take them to a bowling alley. I'll take them to like a restaurant bar and, hey, have some fun, take your hat off, pull up here, let's relax and lay it down. And then you can get a real one-on-one. But now I invited them in. I've sent out like 15. Come on, Bernie. Come up, Bernie. Yeah, she's back. Yeah, so, I'm all for it. It's just, really, we were more unified when we had the restaurants and the truck stops, and we could all just go in there and chit-chat with everybody.
Yeah, but we got to remember that there was a reason why those were taken out of a lot of them. They don't want
Can I ask a question?
Bernie!
Absolutely.
Hello, Dexter. Are your roads made of tarmac or concrete?
Both.
We're not. That has nothing to do with us.
Both.
Some of them are made
Oh.
with, some are made with concrete, some are made with tarmac. Depends on the contract that they sign. So,
Does it not depend on the heat in your county? Like,
No.
'cause it can melt.
well, I mean, that depends on whether or not when you're going to lay it, if you're going to repair. You know, if you're going to repair asphalt, it has to be, you want it to be above 40 degrees. If you're going to, concrete builds its own heat. So as long as it's above freezing, you can pour concrete. So, and even if it's below freezing, you can add in
I
different
love looking at
chemicals.
what you're doing right now. I think it's amazing. Like, you're showing me America.
Oh, our technology is amazing, Bernie, but don't worry, the UK is cool as well. They gave us Def Leppard and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I'm very grateful for all that. And Samantha Fox. Mr. Lurch. Hey, everybody. Mr. Lurch is a 6'8" corrections officer, former MMA champion. And he's in Ohio near Mr. Cupcake. Mr. Cupcake knows him.
So is this a freeway?
Yes.
If I went to America, how would I drive on that? Coming from the UK.
Dexy will show you, ma'am. Dexy will give you
No,
your
I'm
personal
asking someone that's going to tell me a proper question.
Well, it's basically going to be on the other side of the road. So where you drive on the left, we drive on the right.
Oh, like in France. So
yes.
Right. Okay. So we drive.
Everything's in reverse here. We start from the back door and work our way to the front door.
Oh my God.
So it's a bit like if you went from the UK and went to Europe, you would have to drive on the left side of the road.
Yeah, you do that here and you're driving into oncoming traffic.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Oh, you're driving onto oncoming traffic.
No. We're saying we're left. If you're looking at oncoming traffic, it would be on the left.
On the highways, there's like 2 lanes and 4 lanes.
Yeah, that's the same in the UK.
They're all
going in California where you live, it's 8-lane highways and 10-lane out there.
Dexter, I'm gonna fall out.
And then you got the other part. You got the other part going the other direction.
Because I want to take my dad to New York, but I also want to take him to where
Philadelphia.
Salem.
I'll show you the Liberty Bell. I'll meet you up there and give you a grand tour of the 5
No, the Salem witches trials were.
Oh yeah, that's in Massachusetts. Yeah, I've been to that spot.
Boston.
Yeah.
That's up by Boston, Massachusetts.
So you drive on the left, not on the right.
Correct.
No, we drive on the right-hand side of the road.
And we want to go to Stoll, Kansas. That's the most evil spot in America.
Yeah, I know.
It's right outside Kansas City, about 40 miles west. Dexter's been there.
I'm not going. I'm not going.
On Halloween night, All Hallows Eve. And remember, Samhain is from your country. Celtic.
God.
Don't worry.
Dexter, be quiet.
We will be safe. Yeah, he struggles with that, Bernie. He needs to get a gag or something. So
yeah.
He probably owns one.
So whereabouts are you now, the OG?
What's that?
Whereabouts are you now? Like, let me look at your countryside.
Oh, I'm in Newburgh, New York. I'm not driving. I'm sitting still. Oh, I'm in Newburgh. Yeah, that's an international paper up there.
That's me, and I'm in Mississippi.
Mississippi? Oh, wow. Everyone thinks Dexter should shut up, Dexter. Shut it. Shut it before I shut it for you.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, she's a little feisty.
Oh, I do too.
So what's your favourite car over there? Like,
that could be anything, Bernadine. That could really, or Bernadette, sorry. That could be anything. No, we call her Bernie, sir. We shortened it to Bernie. All right.
Favorite car?
Do you like Range Rover?
2012 Peterbilt 386.
Range Rovers aren't bad. They aren't. They're not. It's not one of the more preferred ones, but I mean, most people over here, if you're going to get into that, like the G-Wagons more than anything. So,
Oh yeah, like a G-Wagon.
I like the rat rods that people build.
Yeah,
Oh, those
I'm more the old
yeah.
school. I grew up building cars as far as, 62 Deuce.
So you would
69
never buy a
Chevelles.
Porsche then?
Oh,
No.
no.
No, there's people
I
buy
would.
Porsches.
I wouldn't fit.
I
in a
can't fit
Porsche.
into one.
Me
I can
either.
So
fit into one,
if you
but it
had
looks like
like
the Great Bane's
billions of
driving it, so.
pounds, what would you buy as a car?
I'd buy a
Pickup truck.
truck.
I would pay off my
A
farm.
truck?
Yes.
I don't know. I think I'd
What,
love
like
it.
that
I'd
one
try
in
to
that
find
black car
anything.
there? He's
Oh,
not
yeah,
even
that's a little
indicated.
SUV.
He's not even indicated. So do you
Those
not have
are
to
little.
indicate in the US?
Oh, no, you
Yes,
do,
you do.
Bernadette.
You're
But the problem
supposed
of
to.
it is most of them don't know how to use that little toggle switch on the side of their steering wheel. They're lazy.
All those vehicles are small too, that you're seeing.
Yeah, but you should see the size of our cars over here.
All those white ones that you're seeing go by, those are all cops, by the way.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, they're
These are all
undercovers.
cops coming up my left side. Those are all UCs.
Yeah, those white cars were, that's how they like to roll.
Do you mean undercover or?
Yes, undercover.
Yes.
Well, why would they all have the
place.
same car if they're undercover?
Because they're probably on their way to a raid.
Oh, right, okay.
My first
usually
vehicle.
Usually when you see that, it's a raid, a funeral, things of that sort.
My first vehicle was a
You're very
1987.
interesting, you guys over there. You're a bit back to front upside down, aren't you?
Well, we could say
My
the same
first
thing
vehicle
about
was
y'all
a
over there,
87
too.
S10.
So,
No.
you know.
No, but if you tell the truth,
Say an 87
like, they're all driving a
with a
white
66
car.
Impala 327 in it.
Nice.
Oh wow! Now that was a fast pickup.
Yeah,
How can you
it
keep
take the
that
front
S10
end.
on the road.
Well, I got me in trouble.
Guess what I've got, Dexter?
It'd take the front wheels off the ground 3 inches on takeoff.
Dexter. Dexter. Do you want me to sing to you? Or tell you a story?
I'll tell you another one of my prison stories.
Go on
Please
then.
do.
Go on then.
Bernie, you want to hear another prison story?
It
I'll
depends
tell
what
you
it
about-
is. I hope he didn't hurt anyone.
I'll
and I
I'll
hope.
tell you about Cheeseburger Eddie.
Oh,
Oh no, not Cheeseburger Eddie.
Cheeseburger Eddie was a CO in Lancaster, Ohio.
what's a CO?
Correctional officer.
All right, okay.
He was a correctional officer that did not have a very good mental state. He worked segregation on day shift.
What's
And every
segregation?
morning-
Like when you get sent to the block, or?
That's when an inmate gets in trouble and then they get put in a cell all by themselves or with
Yeah.
another person
We have that here
for
too.
like 23 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called segregation.
Hello, everyone.
But
We have that too.
he every morning he would go to McDonald's and buy a bunch of hamburger or cheeseburgers, and he would take when he'd go on his lunch, he would go down to the end of the range to the outdoor area where the inmates were supposed to have outdoor rec, and this went on for like 5 weeks. So when he would go on his lunch, what he was actually doing is he would stop by the inmates' doors and ask them if they wanted a cheeseburger.
Oh my god.
And of course, the inmates are going to be like, "Heck yeah, I want a
Yeah, of course
cheeseburger."
they do. Yeah.
Anything
And he
new
goes,
over
"Okay."
at Oh, sorry.
He goes, "Okay, I'll give you a cheeseburger if you let me give you a BJ."
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
So, and of course, they ain't going
You
to
have
turn
to
that
be
down
careful, Lurch. Be careful.
either. I know.
Be
I
careful.
know. But he would undo the little cuff port and hand them the cheeseburger, and they'd flop their man
Oh
parts
right,
out.
right. We need to stop now. So what's the end of the story?
So,
It took
over at
him like 5
FOPT?
weeks to figure out he was doing that. So everybody
Yeah,
called him
we have
Cheeseburger
Oh
Eddie.
right. So
for
did
the
he
hours
get
of
did he
service.
get in trouble for doing that?
Yeah, he got charged with grape.
Right. Well, that's all that matters then, isn't
Hey,
it?
hey, Lurch.
Huh?
I was just wondering,
Oh
did
dear
you work
Lord,
at like a gay
Lurch.
prison or something?
Well, most of the guys in prison are that way.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah, there's an unwritten rule. You can date a dude in prison. When you get out, you got to go back to dating women.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's called.
And don't worry, John Holmes did both outside, but he actually did
Is
serve
that a truck?
for
Is
the
that a
Wonderland deal in 1981. And that's in your city,
It's
Bernadette,
called-
Los Angeles.
Lurch,
It's called gum.
can I ask you a question?
Hold on, guys. I was
What?
trying to ask FOPT a question.
Yeah, I know, I
and you
heard
guys-
Somebody else's.
And you guys started talking about gay prison stories.
Well, it's called GUP. GUP.
Oh dear.
Go ahead,
Hey,
wifey. Go ahead, wifey.
So, anything new over at FOPT this week?
Yeah, we've got
Yep,
the
we have.
common period that we have up for the hours of serve or for ELD versus paper log, and then we also have a petition to remove the sexually dangerous
people.
persons off or permanently disqualifying them from CDL holding.
Guess what I got, Sarah and Dexter?
So, what do you think about what Florida's doing right now?
Oh,
Or
dear.
which one are we talking about? The factor that you must
Are
be
you okay,
English speaking to
Liz?
have a driver's license?
Well, they're doing an audit, and I had to. I had got a paper in the mail, and I had to take down their my proof of residency that I lived in Florida, social security card. I had to take all kinds of stuff down there, and I'm like, guys, you're going
Yeah.
after the wrong people. I'm American.
No, they're going. Well, that's the thing. You cannot sit there and say one thing or another. So what it has to do is it's a blanket thing that they're doing. So that's why I was like, which one are we talking
I've
about?
got
I knew
Coke
about
Zero.
both, but it's like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about
Yeah.
the you must be English language? Or are we talking about the verification of everybody? So
Yeah, that's what they're doing in Florida.
yeah,
There was probably about 10, 15 truck drivers in there. There was one truck driver in there. I think he was like Nigerian or something. He didn't speak any English, and like I was telling Dexter earlier, I was like, I don't even know why you showed up. Like,
well, because if he don't show up, he gonna lose that CDL. So he better learn how to fix that English speaking there pretty quick. So Florida's not messing around. I heard Arizona's getting ready to do the same thing. It's going to probably burn like wildfire here before
Texas
long.
has been doing it. Texas has been doing downgrowing CDL since last summer.
well, they give you 7 days. They give you 7 days from when they notify you to get there and get it done. My question is how many truck drivers on the road are not going to be able to make it home during those 7 days and lose their license?
Well, I
Well,
guess
it
you
is,
might want to be paying attention, and you're going to have to get yourself back home and get it done. It don't take 7 days to drive across the United States. So
I know. So, and they're notifying the insurance companies too. That's the reason I knew they called the insurance company.
Yep.
Or I don't know if they called them or however they notify them, but.
Well, they're getting everybody involved. They're getting brokers involved now. Now, when companies call you about employment, are you non-domicile, are you DACA, and all that, and you got to verify them. And so all you got to do is simply just show them your CDL, and it'll be printed on there. So they're getting everybody involved now. So yeah, I know a lot of drivers will come online and go, "Oh, they never do anything." No, they are. They are. You just don't want to recognize it.
Can I ask a question, Sarah?
Go ahead, Bernadette.
Okay, so do you know, like, you guys like live in a huge country? So everything has to be like it's either land, sea, or
Well, California is still part of America. We just don't claim it.
oh, shut up, then.
We're just waiting for the great earthquake to separate us. That's all we're waiting for.
No,
Yeah,
but
it's
do
long
you know what I
overdue.
mean?
San
Like,
Andreas.
everything has to be
Watch
moved
that
by
movie
trucks,
with The
or
Rock.
can you
It
not-
was good.
Does everything have to be moved by trucks, or do you have to? Can you fly some of it?
Everything
no,
is
a lot of
picked
it
up by a
goes-
truck. Every
So you
piece
have
of
rail.
freight.
Well, you have some things that are moved by rail. You have some
No,
things that are
but
moved
it
by
takes a
airplane.
truck to get it there.
Usually from the fact that it goes from a train. Now you're either going to have one of two things after a train. Either one, it's going to go in on the train car and it'll be unloaded off the train car into whatever, which happens a lot with like feed products and cars. And then the other part that you're going to have is then it has to hit a truck.
What about your
So-
cooked food?
Yeah, most everything gets hit by a truck. I mean, at some point. It's just we do use other means to move it besides a truck. So,
They try
but
to
the
say
final
trucks
mile
only.
is all by truck.
They try to say trucks only move 71% of freight, but that's inaccurate. A truck will
No.
touch that piece of freight somehow, somewhere.
Whereabouts
in
are
the
you
logistics
driving
process.
now? POPT.
So we all want to know, when are you going to get your CDL, Bertie? And you know
Oh,
what?
I can
Dexter's
I
available
can
to
drive a
trade.
truck.
Dexter's available to trade 24/7.
No, I don't want to.
The government trusts Dexy to operate dump trucks. Dexy has the highest one, CDL.
Yeah, but dump trucks are different. Are you in Canada?
Yes, I can
No,
drive
he's
it.
in
You
La
can
La
with wheels.
Land, ma'am.
Yeah. So what are all them spiky trees?
Oh, no, he's down there in Mississippi.
Those are pine trees.
Yeah, they're in
pine trees.
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably on
It's a type of
I-55.
evergreen. Yeah, what is called southern pine.
55.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
55.
Are you headed north or south?
I'm going to play up in North Dakota, my friend.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Where I belong.
Have you ever been
Snowman,
to
or the
Be-
Northman is going back to the north.
Have you ever been to Beatrix Potterland, like the Lake District in the UK?
No.
What she did was
I've never
get old trees from all over different countries and planted them. That's why I'm fascinated with, are they
Right now you're seeing evergreens, maples,
Evergreen,
elm,
yeah.
oak. That's all. I mean, that's all out here.
Evergreens? Yeah. Have you ever heard that song, Evergreen?
Yeah, our Christmas trees are in North Carolina, man.
I got a big
Razor
old
firs and all that.
walnut tree that needs cut down in my backyard.
A walnut tree.
Oh, that's money.
Actually,
If
Dexter,
you cut that down, I'd be selling that.
a lot of
tried.
Christmas trees come from Michigan, Dexter.
There we go.
There they are. Show me some more.
The UP area.
Do you have a lot of lakes there or reservoirs?
There's lakes and rivers everywhere. Usually, the farther north you get, the more lakes that you find.
Right. Okay.
You get up by Minnesota.
So are you
that
talking
is
like
the state of
Scotland?
lakes.
Are you talking like Scotland, like rocks and
yeah,
stuff like that?
Is
Oh,
that
we have
Matt?
lakes that are the sides of Scotland.
Matt, you're the one running the page today, right?
Yeah, I'm running it today.
Okay. I was trying to figure out. I was like, what's
The
that?
OG
Yeah?
is kind of just standing by, but go ahead.
No, I was just trying to figure out who was. I just looked at my phone and I seen your truck.
I'm fascinated with it. I'm fascinated with America, like the land.
Have you ever heard of the Great Lakes, Bernadette?
What in Scotland?
Bernie.
No, in America.
No.
Michigan.
Yeah, you ought to look them up. They're bigger than your entire country over there in the UK.
Yeah, Sheffield.
Wow.
It's actually the largest body of fresh water in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is
look up to Edmund
compared to-
Fitzgerald. Well, play that song. I'll send it to you later.
Does she actually live in the UK though? Like,
Of course it
Sheffield,
is.
Sheffield, where Def Leppard's from.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Like, I've never met a UK person on TikTok before, so I didn't know.
Yeah, our
I'm
neighbor
getting a kick
Jules
out
was
of it.
3 doors
Yes,
down from the
to-
UK.
Oh, shut up, Dexter.
To me,
No,
to me, listening to her talk, I feel like all I'm doing is I got Harry Potter in the back playing on the
Oh, Harry Potter. Well, Harry
Well,
Potter's
she's British
different.
and Irish.
Oh, that's a deadly combination.
Yeah, she
still kinda curious
leans
how that
more
happened,
towards the
though.
Irish.
guys, we are driving a Christmas tree today.
I have an Irish heart, but I don't know what blood. I said it was English blood, but I don't.
Yeah, I feel we should have a get together at least once a month somewhere where all of us are gonna,
I can't
somewhat
come
meet.
to
Where
America
it's not gonna
once a
be
month.
like out of route,
I'm joking.
majorly. And bring this camaraderie back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because TikTok is not working. I mean, we need to do
So where are you
in-person.
Where are you going, my love? Where are you going?
He's answered that question multiple times, Bernadette.
Okay, I won't ask again, but I'm just
North
fascinated
Dakota.
with the
I'm going to
foliage.
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
I'm going up by the Canadian line. I've got another 1,000 miles to travel.
Oh
I'm
my
going-
God, 1,000 miles. I'd rather got sleep and say, you do it yourself.
Yeah, he'll be there in less than a day and a half.
He told you he had Harry Potter in the back.
Do you want to talk about Harry Potter land?
JK rally.
Well, she's a very naughty girl, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, Matt's is a good start. We got comments in the Matt's, but I mean, we need to just do more than just Matt's once a year.
Do you want me
Well,
to read
here's
the
the deal.
papers that's happening in the
Here's the
UK
deal.
today to you?
Here's the deal, Dexy, and when it all boils down to it, TikTok is a good tool. The problem is too many people utilize it to take advantage of somebody else instead of actually utilizing it to boost actual morale.
I totally agree.
People are using it as a tool to make money instead of a tool to bring people together.
Yes.
Oh, I totally agree. It's like Vince. Vince is trying to be whatever he's trying to do, and it's like we all need to get together and just work at this and chop down the redwood together.
And the problem is with that, Dexy, here's the problem with that issue, and I'm going to make it very clear and very plain. And actually, I've had this conversation myself, and Mike have had hours of conversation on this. The problem with that is when you bring everybody together without being selective, you start seeing certain individuals utilize the conglomerate's work for their own financial or personal agendas.
Yeah, and I know where you're going with that, Jason Vince. So, yeah, I get that.
Hey, listen, rest in peace, Jason Venn.
I liked him.
don't
This
hate the
Dexter,
guy.
this
I
is
don't hate the
something
guy.
that has happened multiple times. It has nothing to do with the other. It's literally we see it. I've seen it with Mayday.
okay,
I've seen
Lou?
it with what was the
I've
slow
got to
road
go.
in Washington D.C.
I've got to go for a minute. God
yeah.
bless.
Yeah, no problem. Come back, Bernie.
The thing of it is it goes on and on and on everywhere. It's not just that situation. It's Matt and I have been involved with the advocacy side for a better part of a decade.
Really?
So it's it's one of those things that you go through and it's you see it, you watch it happen. Unfortunately, it's no different than like when people talk about communism and they say how great it is. Well, in all actuality, if you could keep the greedy side of a human being out, you would be fine. But you can't keep the greedy side of a human being out. And that's the problem that happens. This is why we wrote in the bylaws that, like, if we were to pay anyone on the board, that they make whatever the lowest salaried person is. And so if you have other people on the board that aren't making any money, then that's what the CEO does. They don't make any money. So this is how we did this to keep that out of it.
Yeah. We did it purposely to maintain so that we are basically pressured to stay on the road and run our companies the way that we're doing it right now.
Right.
We're doing all of this while running our trucks on a daily basis. This doesn't, anything we're doing, it is just time. It's what we're putting out there. We're still running up the, Cupcake, Sam, myself, we're still running 3,000 plus miles a week while we're running the operation. And yeah, there'll be times that we might have to slow down for a day, but we're still going. We're still out here. We're not going nowhere.
Do you feel you guys have made traction?
I'm not getting rid of my company.
Oh, we're making traction.
Cupcake's not getting, yeah, we're making traction.
Our membership is growing every day on the website. I see our numbers going up on TikTok, Facebook. We are growing.
What do you guys think about some of these phonies out here?
What phonies?
That's not for us to judge. That's all we can do.
Yeah, I'm not getting into the drama
Honestly,
with that
Sarah,
bullshit anymore.
Yeah,
I'm really not.
Honestly, Sarah, we are too focused right now on what the Federation is doing to care less about what the rest of them are doing. The video is out. You guys can go to my personal page, to the Northman. There is a video right there that tells you exactly how most of these organizations operate. Cupcake went and made it, did another video utilizing that video that he put out there on FOPT. We have told people to watch out, and if people are still going to fall for it, we can't do anything about it. We got other things to focus on.
What is your opinion though? Like, isn't it a little bit concerning that people like the other guy over there? I'm not going to mention names. Make your life and be respectful. That has
Look, this is the thing about it. We say it all the time,
Mike, because what we're doing is real. It's real, actionable, and it's being done. There, other people talk.
I'm with you.
We are actionable.
I don't disagree with anything you guys do. I had a talk with Cupcake about it. I politically don't want to get involved.
Right.
But I don't disagree with what you're doing. I was just asking the question.
Yeah, the thing is this. Okay. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink. So
look at what the Federation has put on the table, Sarah. The Federation, and this goes a lot. Mike really deserves a lot more credit than most people realize.
Oh no,
he has filed petitions with the FCC, with Department of Labor, 2 of them with the FMCSA, one of which is up for comment. We're waiting on the second, which is an hours of service modification. We have currently, we are taking on the sexually dangerous persons within the CDL. Nobody's done it. Nobody's given a crap about you female truck drivers until today with the Federation.
Oh, I agree with that.
It has found this problem.
This is why we have a petition to remove the dangerous people. We just need signatures.
I will tell you from an insight on that, there are some people on here that joke around and have a good time about, oh yeah, let's meet up or whatever, that's joking around. There's other people on here that actually get angry. There's a guy right now, he keeps reporting me, and he's a truck driver, and I think he's a, I don't want to say no names, but he's like that. He's angry that I won't meet him.
Those are the dangerous ones.
Okay,
but and we don't know.
And you know what? They come in and out of your all's lives. They come in and out of your all's lives, and everybody seems to be okay. Well, I confront him. I confronted the dude that she's talking about on another wives, and he got mad and blocked me. Never said a word to me though, but calls her and talks about me behind my back. I'm a man with giant balls. I'm a man with giant balls, and I'll confront the dude, and he just runs. But he's out here driving a truck.
So Dexter gets on here and jokes around, and it's what it is about I'm his wife or whatever, and we all know the truth. And this guy got angry and upset about it, and he's like, I thought you was gonna meet me. I never said I was gonna meet the guy. And
I don't know any. I have a trucker wife that I call my trucker wife, and I have my wife at home.
Yeah.
My wife at home knows about my trucker wife. It's just somebody who knows the business better than she does, where we can talk about the business. We can talk about trucking. We can talk about the lifestyle. It is just conversation. That's all it is. I got brothers that I can literally say they're my trucker husbands. It's a mental thing. It's not an actual thing. It's just how you perceive somebody. I can't fix that problem. The FOPT can fix the sexually dangerous persons problem and remove them from our industry. Remove them from the communities across the nation.
I picked up on this dude as being we'll just say starts with a P. And I said something to all the chicks that were in the room when he left, and DM'd him directly, and they're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Why? Okay. Why don't you start talking to him and that?" And they're come back and they're like, "I said this and that," and he just jumped all over it. I said, "Well, I told you he was." "Well, how'd you know?" I said, "He just showed all the characteristics of it. This, that, and the other." Made a few comments to him, and then I was talking about another girl that goes live here, and I made comments about her. Oh, he had such a problem with it. Never said anything to me, just other. And then we had another dude in here that he wants to date me. And he told Sarah he wanted to make out with me and Cisco and stuff. And Cisco heard that. And then all of a sudden, he don't want to talk to us anymore when I confront him. So,
well,
yeah.
Here's what we need to remember, okay? A lot of people run background checks, and that's absolutely fine. But to become an owner-operator, the only background check you got is by an insurance company. And an insurance company is going to sell you insurance one way or the other. It might jack it up by what they see, but they're still going to sell you the insurance. So if you are one of these dangerous people that we are trying to rid, and you have a valid CDL and you've got a background of it, you can literally run your own truck, which puts you across 48 continental states in any neighborhood that you want to be in.
I understand what you're saying. No, the two losers I'm talking about, they're company drivers working for companies. One of them is a pretty good company with thousands of trucks.
If they have a background, and if we can get this pushed through, and this is where we need all of you, this is where we need every truck driver. This is where it needs to go viral. Anything that the Federation does has got to be viral. It's got to hit every corner of our country, and people need to act. Nothing gets fixed with just 5 of us inside the Federation. We need every truck driver on board. We don't push anything.
I totally agree.
We don't push anything without having a very serious debate about whether or not we're going to push it.
Hey, Matt, I'm going to correct you on something that you said.
Yeah, go ahead.
We don't need just the truckers. We need the truckers' families on that one.
Yes, I agree. On the one that we got with the people with the sexually dangerous people, and removing them from the CDL position and from the CDL community, we need the truckers, their families, their communities. This should be the most viral thing in the world, and we should easily be able to push this through. Easily.
Okay. I got a quick question for you. So everybody's familiar, and is it okay to say the SEX word?
Let's just go
with
it.
Okay, well, I mean, I heard you say it. I just wanted to make sure you're okay with it. Okay, with all this sex trafficking that we've had to watch videos and talk about for since 14, why aren't we piggybacking on that? Why don't we piggyback that movement and push it through? It would go through real easy.
It has that much, because here's the reason right now. I'll tell you right now why we're not. Because since this has become such a big topic, that's a decade. For a decade, the standard inside the FMCSA has never changed. Not once. This should have been something that should have been caught over a decade ago and hasn't.
Yep.
Why
the thing
piggyback on
they're
them?
protected.
Why piggyback on something like that hasn't caught it in over 10 years, and give them something more? The Federation caught this problem. Now, should we include them? That is up to the CEO whether or not we include them. I'm the president, dude, not the CEO. CEO's decision is whether to include them.
The people that you're trying to get rid of is protected. That's the problem. They're even coming from a former correctional officer. They're even protected in the prison system.
How are they protected
And
on
I
getting
understand that,
a
sir.
CDL?
Because they're protected no matter what. Like let's say all four of us are inmates, and we find out that there's a what we call a toucher, and we knock the block off of them, we get charged with a hate crime.
Well, then maybe it's time.
They're
for,
protected.
Listen, I'm a different breed apparently. I'm calling them
No,
out.
I'm right
listen,
there
I'm
with
not
you.
judging them. I'm not judging them. That's for God and God alone. I'm holding them accountable. And right now, accountability, you don't belong in 48 states in whatever community that you want to end up in tonight. And where every one of us out here, the truckers are no different than bikers. You correction officers are no different. We're all tough people when it comes to kids. We don't play games.
Yeah.
So why should we? I'm not okay with it, and I'm tired of everybody, sitting on
this
their
is
hands
one
going,
thing that I will.
"Oh,
This is
we're okay."
one thing that I will
No.
say here. When it comes to this, and this is the part that cracks me up. I hear everybody say what we're saying here, and I hear it on Facebook, and I see it in different community pages I'm involved with, and the whole 9 yards. But then, when you ask them to simply go sign a petition to remove them from having a CDL permanently, they won't sign a petition. Like, all you're asking is for somebody to put their name and address on a petition that states that, yes, I agree with this, and they won't do it.
Mike was just a little side note, and this is to emphasize kind of what he just said, and it really does emphasize it. Mike had to be the first signature on that petition. The very next signature was my wife, because she actually had something of that sort happen to her. And she stood right up and said, "Oh, no. Well, we're fixing this problem right now." So the second signature on that petition that sits in there right now is actually, and I don't want to use the word victim because she's as tough as
She's
nails.
a survivor.
She is actually a survivor of this nonsense.
Yep.
And the guy was a CDL holder.
And that's where I think that we should make it to where these the truck stops has more cameras and maybe even security.
Well, so we have that in the act, which is kind of like our outline of what we're going to try, what we want to see happen.
Yeah.
We want to see the lighting and stuff be increased in all truck parking areas, whether it be an arrest area or a truck stop or like truck parking club, any of those. If it's an area that a truck parks, you have to increase the lighting. I was having this conversation with my friend Tiff just 3 days ago or something on her life, and she will not get out of her truck at night because she's afraid. And it's whether, and I've talked to her about it. It has to do with, it's dark out. There are people that are these dangerous people that we talk about that have CDL, and they travel all over. You don't know who they are because the only way you can look it up is on a sheriff's website. And then all it tells you is that where they work and where they live. It doesn't say anything else. So if they hold a CDL, they could be in Topeka, Kansas, while they live in freaking Piqua, Ohio. I mean, it doesn't, or vice versa. They could be from Topeka, Kansas, and be delivering in Piqua, Ohio.
And they don't even have to be a truck driver in order to do this. They can just hang out at the stop.
Right,
they could. But this is where lighting and security helps. If there's more lighting, it's not going to be as easy for them to to lurk in the shadows, if you will.
Oh, 100%.
Well, just so you know, there are truck stops that do have armed guards there. Like we'll say West Memphis, Arkansas, so everybody knows that one. But you need to go there and call them ahead of time and say, if you call them, they will come out. They will not just walk the parking lot. But I do feel people need to take more initiative. Like, okay, it's midnight. Hey, I'll get out. Can you come and escort me to that? Casinos will do that too. There's also a casino there, Southwind Racing. They will come
Yes,
out.
but
I've done it myself.
You're referring to the exception, not the rule. We want it to be the rule.
No, I understand that,
That's the
but I
difference.
just don't think you're going to get truck stops on board with that and have 3 or 4 security guards.
If you put enough pressure,
I
put
understand
enough
that.
pressure, it
Yeah,
will.
I understand where
See,
you're
that's
going
the
with-
thing you had. That's what it is.
Hey,
This
Matt,
is why
There
we're
should
looking
be a
at.
law.
Well, this is why we're trying to get the one law changed to where Congress, with this petition, if we could get 5 million signatures on this petition, there's 330 million people in this country. How on earth we're not able to get everybody to sign a petition that removes these people from being able to hold a CDL permanently? I will never wrap my head around that statement.
hey,
Never be
Matt,
able to wrap my head around
Well,
that.
and this is the thing.
Where can you go
This
to
is the
sign
thing.
this petition?
If you go to the website,
Well,
Lurch,
and this is-
it's an article in there. There's a link right on the article. You click on the link, it takes you to change.org. If you go to it's on the
Change.org,
Facebook, it's on the Facebook, it's on the and it's on the website. You can literally just click the
We've
link
got
and it
it.
takes you right to the petition.
Okay.
Currently, right
So
now,
it's on
we have it on
change.org.
Facebook. We have it on.
Yes.
We have it on Facebook, TikTok. We have it on Twitter. We have it on Instagram, and we have it on TikTok. It is literally out everywhere.
TikTok doesn't allow us a link though, Matt. Unfortunately, they don't allow the
Yeah.
links like we need to, which is absolutely aggravating to me. But anyways.
Yeah, because I'm also a licensed armed guard here in Ohio, and
Right.
I'm really big on security and everything, and that's why I think that even if it's just one guard per shift, it would be enough to deter a lot of people from doing a lot of things.
Right. Well, and this is the thing, like some people they didn't, I guess, understand where I was going or whatever. But when you look at when I was in North Little Rock, Arkansas the other day, the only reason that I was irritated with that guard that they have going around is I know he had to have watched me park. And then I literally had only been parked for like a minute, basically just trying to get my life together, and get my phone out and stuff and actually go through and do the thing. And he's banging at my door. Look, bro, if you're going to be a security guard for this, how about you go make sure everybody else, the ladies and stuff, can walk in without having problems? And don't worry about whether or not I've been sitting here for a minute and I haven't paid my parking price yet. That's the irritation.
Well, that's their job anyways. That should be, security is to secure the property, not to bang on people's doors.
Well, you go talk to the pilot down there in North Little Rock, Arkansas, and explain that to them, sir, because it's the opposite.
So I have a quick
I
question.
could understand if you was parking like a jackass and you was like taking up 2 or 3 spots, But
how would you guys like this view?
Go ahead, Dex.
Yeah, okay, so I have a buddy that said he will go in, and it doesn't matter the truck stop, and say, is this secured parking that I pay for? And he says, do you guarantee the safety of my truck? And he said, if they can't do that, then you can park there for free. They have to waive all that. And I'm like, I've never tried it before. It sounds good, but I mean, what do you guys think on that?
That's one of those things you're going to have to verify that with the law.
Well,
I don't know
because
about
here's
that.
the deal. You call the truck stop and they'll say this is public parking. We don't handle this, even though it's part of their parking lot. Now they're saying you have to pay to park here, so that takes it to a different level, right?
Well, see, I can tell you this: when you go to public parking in just downtown Cincinnati, you got to pay for those.
Okay, so I'm bringing this full circle to what you guys are saying: safety. They
Right.
have to guarantee your safety, meaning a woman, for example, something happens, we'll be TikTok friendly, but something happens, you can go back on them and say,
Right.
I have a receipt. Okay, how much do you want to settle for? So I presented that, but like I say, I've never pushed the issue in there either. But he claims he
haven't.
has. So I've just never gone in and said, okay, do you guarantee the safety of my truck, my safety now? Because when you go, okay, you can walk in Walmart, anything can happen. It's open to the public. You go to Sam's Club, you got to pay to be there. It's a different story.
That might be the next step that we can take next.
So I just wanted to throw it out there and see how you guys feel.
Well,
or
everything has steps right now.
Correct.
You know, we got the petition up. It's up for the next 89 days. That's step one. Once that petition is done, once it hits the end of the 90-day period, we can take the next step, which is, it could be, going after the truck stops for lighting and more cameras. It could be putting up those emergency blue lights in truck stops so that if something happens, there it is. It's an immediate, police
I only
response.
know of one pilot.
We can take whatever the next step is.
Right.
The key right now, and we can talk a lot about the future. The problem is, once you start talking about it, you take the focus off the present. And the present right now is trying to get all of us, our communities, all the truck drivers that follow us and follow you guys, to open up their eyes and go, yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah, we absolutely need them out of this. We need to raise the bar and the standard of the trucking industry and the truck driver, him or herself, and remove these individuals from communities nationwide. That's step one. You got a great idea for the future. You have ideas that are step 2 and 3, and those could be utilized, should be utilized, but we got to focus on step 1, and that's where we're at right now. Is making sure that people understand we're not tolerating this level of trucking anymore. We are not going to be classified as bottom feeder. We are raising the bar to a standard that hasn't been raised in a long time. The bar of trucking has been dropped to the ground.
Are you guys reading the comments?
We need to bring it back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That BH, that's my fiance.
How you doing, Rocky?
What's up?
Welcome
Rocky,
aboard,
come on
Bobby.
in here. Oh, there you are.
No, I was going to say, we're talking about the parking. When you're on private property that charges the park, it's no different than like a parking garage or something that's not armed. You park at your own risk. You're paying to rent the spot, just like most of these commercial parking places all around me here, all over the country. When you park your truck there, they're not responsible for your vehicle or any contents or anything. The same thing with where I park my fifth wheel at. I pay $335 a month to park the damn thing there, but they are not responsible for break-ins or anything and getting stolen or whatever. And they make you show that you have your own insurance to cover all that stuff before they'll even rent you a spot.
Most of those parking tickets, those parking garages, flip the ticket over. We are not responsible for break-ins or lost items.
Right.
Same with the truck parking. Most of the truck parking, at least I know as far as TA and Metro, when you go to pay, there's a little contract there right there that you should be reading that says, we are not responsible for your truck, damages, or items missing from it.
Right.
It states it right there. It's in their contract. We'll take your money, but we're not responsible for anything other than that.
Right. They're renting you a spot and you're parking at your own risk.
Yeah.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
These people are not dumb. They're already ahead of the game. They're protecting themselves. So,
Rocky, you
But
remember
the
where
property can be replaced. It's the people, the women
Exactly.
and everybody that really needs the protection.
Rocky, you know where Centurion is? I can't say that company correctly.
Yeah.
You know that lot right next to them? That's where we park. That's where we park our trucks at. And
Yeah.
they got cameras, but the night my truck got hit over there, they didn't cover it.
Right. Yeah, they don't cover anything. And they'll have some lights. Some have no lights. I used to park mine at a place that had no lights. So it was actually a dirt lot. My low boys that were pulling the truck chassis all parked up here off of Beaver Street on a dirt gravel lot back there. And there's nothing. A couple of other businesses back in there and stuff, but there's no security, no lights, no nothing. You pull in there at midnight, it's dark.
Now there is a place over there south of Dallas. They got security guards, but Amazon has rented the whole thing, and there's never no spots in there. They've rented the whole property. There's security guards in there, showers and everything.
Yeah.
Amazon's doing that a lot to a lot of places.
I think women, like my wife, she is always protected. She can let go of some high-speed projectiles very quickly, but she's
Well,
trained a
that's the
lot. I
other
think
thing. I was gonna do that.
every woman driver out there should go train and some
100%.
self-defense training and be able to release those high-speed projectiles at the flip of a second, man. And especially being out there on the road.
Not just
There's
women,
actually
but
a
all
product
drivers.
on the market.
Everybody.
There's a product on the market right now. I've seen them at Cabela's. I've seen them at Bass Pro Shops. I've seen them in quite a bit of different places. In fact, a lot of the gun shops are carrying them. And they're rubberized, projected, and they come out as fast as a bullet, but they're rubber.
Yeah.
You can carry that weapon in all 48 states.
Right.
But you know what hurts it for us being able to do that and not get in no trouble is you take it. I don't remember what state it is. There was a driver. It's been some years back who was backed into the dock. I think it was a Target or something, and somebody wanted to break in his trailer, and he wanted to play hero and stop him, and he started letting those projectiles going at him, and that's so stupid right there. Why would you even do that? Let him rob the trailer.
Right. If you're not trained and you don't have experience in doing that, just let them take the damn trailer. That's why most of your stores anymore, if they get hit, they just tell the people, go in the bathroom, lock yourself in, whatever, let them take whatever, It's not worth it.
Well, it's like there's a pilot out in Ohio on 70 just as you get in from Indiana. They have flat out told me that they are not allowed to kick anybody out of paid parking because they've had somebody come in there with a gun, and when they were told to leave, they pulled the gun out on them, on the pilot.
Yeah.
Well, that's pilot standard. They're
Right.
never allowed to tell nobody to leave.
Well, I was going to say, because of that place, corporate has sent out an email. Even though there are some pilots that still do it, they're not supposed to.
I will tell you that I don't believe in paid parking, and if there's no spots, I park in pilot paid parking. I don't pay for it. I'll never pay for parking. We buy so much fuel from them.
I don't mind paying for it.
It's another. I don't mind if it's a place that I'm not very comfortable with, which is very rare. I don't mind paying for it once in a while. Will I pay for it on a daily? No, I won't. I refuse. That you're not getting all my. You already get enough of my money at a truck stop. You ain't getting any more.
I forget who it was. Somebody was telling me a while back. I think it was Sean. I don't know if you guys know Sean or not. He said that the federal government give the major chains of truck stops so many thousands of dollars to create parking. Where does that money go to?
They passed $500 million and nobody's done. They did a research on it for like 7 years. It's in the budget. It's in the big beautiful bill.
Or, I'm sorry, they don't pocket it. What they're doing is...
So is the money that they paid for research to find out about truck parking across the country. It took 7 years that every truck driver was saying the same thing for 7 years. There's only one spot for every 10 trucks. It's not hard to figure this out, but, let's cost the taxpayers billions of dollars for a research.
What do you guys think about what TA's doing now with the going back to having the gates with the bars and all that?
Sam,
Well, I mean, they
sorry,
just want you to
I'm
pay in the store. That's all. I don't have an issue with that.
I mean,
Showers,
yeah, but
food, whatever. Show your receipts. I mean, it's just like
If you buy fuel at a TA or Petro, or you spend so much money, they will forgive the parking purchase.
correct.
So what it amounts to is they're tired of the people that are pulling into the lot, not spending any money for fuel or for a shower or anything in there. They're just pulling in, parking on the property, and leaving.
Well, why did they take our tax dollars then? They took tax dollars to create parking.
Yeah, my understanding of the tax dollars was for the states to create more rest areas and truck
Yes,
parking.
that's what it was. It
Not
was
for
tax
the
dollars that went to the
private.
states.
Yeah,
it's not the private sector.
Okay.
They're not
Oh,
sending
well,
me no
if-
money to build a parking lot. It's
No.
for the
Well, if
states
that's
to
it-
build
it-
parking.
If that is the case, I apologize, but I don't know if you guys know Sean or not. But
Yeah, but
Sean
they close
was
a
on-
lot of rest areas too. So
Well, this is
Sean-
Jason's law. You're talking about Jason's law. I literally just wrote an article about this. All of the money that they're giving for parking is for public use. So it's going to be for rest areas, truck parking, all of that stuff. It's not for private use. There's no grants that come from TA or whatever. Now, I do know that the TAs in the big three, we'll just call them that, they do use money, basically subsidies from here and there to do upgrades periodically. Because they'll use it under usually the ADA side. That's why you're starting to see the handicap showers, the handicap parking, because they can get subsidies from the government to supply those ADA requirements.
Yeah, but Jason's
And so
law
that's
has been
how
in
they're
effect
doing
for
that.
years. Jason's law's been in
Yes.
effect for
Are
years. That
any
went
of-
down in 07. But I'm glad you brought
Are
that
any
up
of you
about
guys
that.
friends with?
How do you get a CDL and have a handicap parking sticker? Somebody explain that to me.
So
So-
to get a CDL with a
I have
handicap
asked
parking
numerous
sticker, there's a
doctors and they can't
long
tell.
list. Well, there is a long list. There is actually a big qualification that has to come through. You have to do all kinds of tests with your doctor and stuff like that. There is a actual form that has to be filled out. After that, that form goes to the FMCSA, and they basically review it. And they go on a case-by-case basis of someone that might have disabilities on whether or not it is safe for them to be medically qualified to operate a commercial motor vehicle.
Yeah,
And that is how that works with the handicapped and the disability side.
I'll give you
I
an
just had this-
example.
I also
Go ahead.
understand the exemption and stuff, but that's not like an exemption. I just don't get it. I mean,
I'm just telling you how the process works, Dexter. I'm just
Yeah,
telling you how
I've
the
read the
process
law,
works.
too.
I mean,
I've read the law too, but it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I see these guys hobbling out there and stuff, and I'm like, how?
But if you can sit in a seat and drive the truck and get in and out and fuel it, does it matter if the person hobbles or not?
Yeah, actually, it
No.
does because
That's how it's
I mean, I have heard of exceptions of people with missing hands come back from Vietnam and are cleared to drive, but I just heard they drove dump trucks and do long haul. So,
Well, I had
Right. I mean, if you
my
have a
mom's
bad
fourth
hip or-
husband, my mom's fourth husband retired from Walmart, and he was missing his right arm because he was hit by a car when he was 12.
well, I mean, there's a dude that is on TikTok with Mercer that has one eye, and he said he had to put the little helmet on and do the test, and they cleared it, but he had to apply for an exemption. But everything
He-
else was okay.
And he could probably see better than a lot of these people with two eyes that I see driving around here.
Especially these days.
I mean, I totally get that one, but this other stuff, I just don't get that. I mean, you're saying you're unhealthy and can't drive.
Well, what's unhealthy? What if I've got a bad hip and a busted, tore up ACL in my left leg, and I'm driving an automatic truck? As long as I can get in, and I can work the fuel pedal and the brake pedal, and turn the wheel and use the directionals and get down and do a
I don't think
pre-trip
that
and
would get
stuff.
you a handicap sticker. I mean, I see tons of dudes walking around without them.
actually, I can tell you right now, any doctor in the world, if you have a messed up ACL and a hip at the same time, you will be issued a handicap sticker so that
Yep.
you do not have to walk as far in the parking lot. So there you go. All a handicap sticker is it is a doctor issued parking pass where that you do not have to park as far away from the entrance to try to help you and not have to walk as many steps. So they actually have a group out there right now. I was just trying to help one of our board members here the other day because her friend had managed to get injured, and she is wheelchair bound, but she wants to be able to keep driving a truck. There is a company out there that actually has a lift that is mounted to the side of the cab that will lift that person with the wheelchair up into the truck.
They make them in California. They're on TV shows.
Well, then you know about what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's right
I've
there.
seen
I
that
mean,
before.
yeah. The thing of it is
Not
this:
uncommon to see
can you operate the vehicle safely? That is the question. Can you operate the vehicle safely? And that's all that really matters: is can you operate? Does it take you longer to get in and out of the truck? Yes. That is now a you problem and not everybody else problem, because now you're going to take a little longer for your pre-trips and post-trips. Now you're going to it might take you a little longer to get in and out of a shipper or receiver, because you might have to do a few extra steps. And if you're okay with doing those few extra steps and it taking you a little longer in your day, which is liable to shorten your driving abilities, then so be it. As long as you can operate the vehicle safely and do a pre-trip or post-trip, I don't have an issue with it. Because I can tell you this, I know people that have disabilities that are operating these vehicles that actually get out and pop a hood and check their tires and shit. And I see these other people that don't have any disabilities that can't get out of the truck and kick a tire before they leave out. And then they're rolling down the road going thump, 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 throwing a tire. So, I mean, what does the disability have to do with it?
Another question. I keep reading about how they're going to put steps on the trailers, on the DOT bumpers, and make it part of the DOT test that you have to get in and out of the trailer just to get your license back.
Okay.
So where are we on that? I've been hearing that for several years now, and I hear it's like moving forward and stuff like that. And I see more trailers that actually have those steps on there now.
Well,
so I'm like, okay,
those steps, it's actually safer to have those steps for
Right.
anybody to enter or exit the trailer. So it doesn't really matter on the handicap side if we're going to continue that conversation.
No,
Having those steps,
it's
well, what I'm just going to say is that is a large step to go from the floor, from the ground to the bottom of the ICC bumper, and then from it up into the trailer. So this is a safety factor. When we talk about 3 points of contact, like a lot of people should be doing, especially in icy situations, you know, all they're doing there is just making things safer, which if they're doing that, I will say as the CEO of the FOPT, we 100% anything being made safer for any truck driver in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wondered why they don't have bars on the side of there, and I get it, you got to haul freight, but how else are you going to get in and out of the trailer? And some of these dudes jump down and blow out their knees and, you know, everything else, so.
Yeah, that's just a safety thing for everybody, having that back there.
Well, I mean, most
remember when we went to go to
steps
TMC
on the frame, you know.
Well, Sam will tell you this. He remembers when we went to TMC and we went through orientation, even though it goes against everything of their safety, one of the physical qualifications you are required to do is to get up on the trailer from the side instead of going up on the back, which is what their safety manual says, that you should never enter the trailer except from the nose or the tail. But to physically qualify, you got to get up on the side of the trailer, which makes no sense to me from the black and chrome. But anyways.
And you had to be able to walk around a suicide coil that took up the entire deck.
Yep.
Yeah, and remember we had to put the 8-foot drop tarp on top of it?
Right.
Which all of that blows out their whole safety manual out the water.
Well, they managed to hire a cat that had like a 2-foot bun of dreadlocks wrapped up and couldn't get a safety hat on and sent him home, and he tried to sue him, but they don't have the Crown Hair Act that some of these other states have, but he was from Dallas. So that made the internet. So yeah,
well,
this
is the thing. If you cannot, this is the thing. They would win that every day of the week, twice on Sunday. And the reason being is this. Because of it being a flatbed only company, and most of your flatbed has to be able to wear a hard hat on your job sites, your mine sites, any of that. So if you go through and you cannot wear a hard hat properly, you are now a danger to yourself and others according to OSHA, and you're not able to follow the OSHA regulations or the MSHA regulations. So they're not going to hire you unless you're willing to cut your hair so that you can wear a hard hat properly.
Yeah, I mean, I
So-
get all that. I just don't get why the second they saw his license, or they didn't call him and say, "Is your hair?" or they asked it, or when he got to orientation, they didn't boot him home immediately. But they
probably told him to cut his
Well,
hair
how did
because
he
Sam and I
not
went
know
through
that
it.
he had to wear a hard hat?
Well, are you
Some
kidding? Have
people
you met
don't.
some of these truck drivers out here? They don't realize everything that goes on in the industry. They think if they come from van or whatever, or he might not even have been from the industry. He might have just been a new driver.
Sarah,
You know,
I
because
had car
TMC
carriers
is
in the early 2000s that wanted to come work for us that did not know they had to load and unload the truck. They thought that it was loaded by a crane or somebody else.
You know, I get that so much.
Some
I'm like,
days
how
I-
long does it take them to load your truck?
Some
Right.
days it would have been nice to have a crane to load my car carrier back 10 years ago, but
Hey, Rocky,
Right.
want to see a good view?
You do that all on your own.
Yeah. They would say, well, who loads and unloads? Do we have to call somebody and for them to get there? I'm like, no, you get out of the truck and you do it.
Yeah.
That's like I
Rocky?
sent Mr. Cupcake a
Yeah,
video
go ahead, sir.
where some chick was unloading the truck on a multi-stop load, and she was upset
9
that men
cars.
driving by, walking by, wouldn't help her. And everybody was like, "You know the job, and you know what to do," but she was upset. Oh, the audacity of men today! Do you know what kind of lawsuit that would have done if she'd accepted help and let them help and get injured and stuff? There you go. They don't even think about that. So, and then why take a job where you know it's physically demanding, you know what the deal is, but there you go. So that's a lot of problem with today's work.
This is 2020. Dex, this is 2026. Critical thinking skills are at an all-time low.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Yeah,
Dex,
there is
that
no-
Like
whole,
with corrections, they
Hey,
lowered the.
How about the chick that couldn't
crazy
figure out
too.
how to turn the lights on? That video's circulating around. I sent that to everybody up there. Yeah, some dude pulled up behind her and was like, "I followed you for 5 miles. I'm trying to find the lights. Where's your CDL?" Hands him a piece of paper.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
you go.
hound dog shit
You
here.
can't. Here's the deal, though, Dex. Everybody's going to point it, and I made a point that has to stop. It's not. If she wasn't trained correctly, and we don't know if she was or wasn't, but if she wasn't trained properly or given enough time to understand and learn that truck or any truck, it's not on her.
I mean,
You're putting
I look at it
somebody
like
who's
this.
scared of the truck and doesn't really know it because she was fast tracked through the process so that some mega carrier can put her in a front seat and move a load down the road. That's on them. You know, we need to stop. We need to stop, breathe, and take a minute before casting judgment or, this is funny as crap. It's not that funny. It really ticks me off
Right.
when I see people because you got to look at the other scope. You got to look at it and go, well, where's the trainer that taught this woman, and what's he got to say? Because if you fast track that woman in 5 days in California, and she has no clue, and she's white knuckling it because she's not comfortable, that's on the training company, that's on the trainer, that's on the school, that's on everybody but her.
Well, I have a little difference of opinion on that. I have an opinion of it's 50% on that person, 50% on the program she went through in the company. Because you can't drive the truck. Raise your hand and say, "Hey, I can't drive," but they're out there like, "I got to make money. I'm still broke. Too broke, shut the truck down." So they go out there anyways, and then a
You're
disaster happens. So
you're not
I look
wrong.
at it like that. So anybody that says different, I ask you that question, okay? I mean, we can have an argument all day, or we can say, because we all hear the same things all the time. I'm not properly trained, no matter what industry there is. Okay, well, I get it. That's why medical malpractice insurance is so much. That's why there's so many lawyers out here. But at the end of the day, you got to have some self-accountability.
all right, Dex,
Again,
I'm gonna.
that's a critical. That goes back.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
critical
people
thinking,
eat themselves
critical
into 300
thinking.
to 500 pounds. Nobody forces you to eat this food, and people say, "Well, the food's the worst." Okay, then why are you here? Well, then move to a country where you think it's better. It's a you problem. Nobody wants to exercise. Nobody wants to take accountability. I just look at it like that. Yeah, and everybody gets upset and mad, wants to talk about Dexy behind his back, but I'm here to tell you to your face, it's a you problem. So yeah, I get it. I work with people all the time that can't back the truck up. I know husbands and wives where the wife can't back the truck up and they actually lose their job because she has to pass that test in orientation. They just have to work for companies that just didn't test them before. So and that's a company problem.
I know a husband and wife group that has to constantly change their transmission out because she can't shift.
There you go. Same thing.
Yeah, and they're actually fairly large creators on here. So I'm just gonna throw that one out there.
Yeah. I mean, the dude, because I was in orientation with him, and he goes, we worked at the same company prior, switched over to this one. They won't pass my wife because she hit an object on the back and test, and they had a little conversation with him. They said, we'll still employ you, and he said, no, I can't do it. They said, well, why does your wife not know? Well, she knows how to drive the truck and do the paperwork, and I do all the backing. Okay, that's not cool. Well, he didn't want to hear it. I get it. You don't want to hear it, but that's reality.
Well, I don't know how they passed and got their CDL without being able to pass the maneuverability side.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you real easy. I have a very good friend that when I was looking to get into trucking, the maid, this is her husband. He was an ops manager at a company. It was very nice. Took the time to tell me about trucking and give me his perspective. His wife at the time, and this is like his third wife, was the maid, and they sat at a school, a third-party tester for I think it was 3 weeks till she passed, because they will test you over and over at these third-party testers, which DOT is in the process of getting rid of all of them. That's why they closed 3,000 schools.
Yeah, I thought they had gotten rid of all the third-party testing, or is that still a state-by-state thing?
That is the problem. On this day, they actually got it all together, and then boom, they just let them through.
I can help answer some of those questions.
Go ahead, ma'am. And very nice to talk to you, ma'am.
Because I'm going through this shit right now myself. So truck driving, I have to unlearn most everything I've known in all my years of being a safety person and watching people drive and running a trucking company, yada, yada, yada. In CDL school, they tell you right there, you're only here to learn the bare basics. That's it. You don't even have to go through the parts and components of a truck, essentially. You don't have to know airbags, slack adjusters, none of that no more.
That depends on the school.
No, sir, it is the law. I mean, you're right.
It's the law.
It was that way when I got my CDL.
Some schools may go beyond and above what's required by law, but they have backed all of that back to do exactly what you guys said, fast track people through. That's what they're doing.
Mr. Cupcake, there is a 6-month course at accredited community colleges in the state of Ohio, and I've known about this since 2007 because I had a minion that went through it, paid for by the state of Ohio because he was on unemployment. So I know that's going back almost 20 years, and it was a 6-month class. Now, not every state offers that, but I know Ohio does for a fact.
Well, and I think when you're talking about
community college and a trucking school,
correct, and I think part of the difference with that also is that you're talking about taking quote unquote a college course, which is actually, you have to have so many hours and yada, yada, yada. Plus, most of the people that are using that at a community college are on like a grant. So they have more stipulations in order for them to keep that grant opportunity available.
A lot of those schools that are going through the colleges are actually third-party schools. They're just using the college to get the students in there.
Most all of them are. I have a friend who had her own CDL school, and she ended up getting tied in with a community college, and she cannot train outside to the public anymore. She is solely locked up with that community college. And so, I'm telling you, I've been spending time out at this CDL school because I personally do not have the fucking patience to offset back. And so I'm learning that. And I did not do well the 2 days I was out there. And now that I've left, I do 1,000 times better because they gave me some tips and tricks on how to overcome some of that. But I sit there, I get in this truck that training me on double clutching. I get in, the windshield's broken, the headlights taped on, it has an air leak, it has all this shit, and it's a truck that people are learning in, and they don't even know how fucked up it is.
Wait a minute, are you in the process of getting your CDL?
What?
Are you in the process of getting your CDL?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, that's our Mac Daddy right there, bub.
Yeah, everything's going to be automatic in less than 5 years, so we're not going to have to worry about sticks.
So,
Not her fleet.
See, that's part of the problem right there, Dex. Is they're trying, the mega carriers are trying to take away choice.
Right.
And this is what, and really, this is what the ELD versus paper logs is. This isn't a fight about, this isn't a fight about what the ELDs sell or do. This is a fight about choice. That's what it boils down to. No matter what anybody else makes it, it's a choice thing. You have the right to choose. Both are under FMCSA. Both are legal documents to record hours of service. Therefore, it's a choice. They left the door open. They didn't close it. They left it open. We now got our foot in it. But it goes the same way with the automatics. They're trying to push all the manuals out the door and flush the system with automatics. No, we have the choice. It doesn't matter what the country says. It doesn't matter what some governor or some politicians. We have the choice. They're both mandated as safe products. Therefore, both should be being sold on the lot. You shouldn't be able to, blindside people and say, you know what, we're just going to flush the system with automatics and they'll like it or they won't. No. This is, people have knelt down, have cowered down like a whooped dog for 20 years. It's time for people to stand up.
Well, the problem is, though, Matt, is when you're trying to hire drivers, a lot of times, a lot of these new drivers have automatic restrictions.
Well,
yeah, we talked to one that said they're doing that.
Maybe it's time that they're taught on a stick like the old days and get it back to where, hey, there's a stick, there's an automatic. You did very well with.
Hold on a minute here.
You did better with an automatic.
Hold on a second. Demetrius Scott down in the comments. I don't understand who's dodging you. I don't understand how you're not trolling. And I don't understand your comment of ELD, you guys have soft hands, real truckers run paper logs. Do you not understand that it is a matter of that we wrote the petition to bring paper logs back?
Yeah.
Or are you not catching that one there, buddy? Because I wrote the petition.
Oh, that guy's a troll, by the way.
Hey, there's an open box. He can come on up in here and have at it.
Once again, my question stands. Why are
he
you
has
trolling?
0 followers.
Who's dodging you?
2 people.
I get it. I'm just saying. Let's see what he's got to say, because I just literally debunked everything he had to say.
Yeah, he's following 2
waiting.
people and he has 0 followers.
Yeah, I know.
It's somebody.
I know. Just let me have fun with my troll. Let me have fun with my troll. Jesus,
look,
Matt.
You ain't a real trucker unless you got a pearl snap on, so I don't want to hear nothing about paper logs.
Yeah, whoever you are, good luck. Have at it, buddy. It's all yours. Good luck.
Come on,
you better go get some aspirin, get some Excedrin. You're gonna need it there, Bucky.
I mean, where's he at? Well, come on, Demetrius. Come on up.
If there's not a box, I will drop, even though I would have just as much fun.
Oh, no, we got a box open down there.
You'll probably find out he's been driving for 2 years, but he's old school.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, Rocky just threw somebody under the bus there.
Rocky went low.
Yeah.
I'm old school. I've been driving. I got my CDL from Creed 18 months ago.
Wait a minute. Is that what that is? Is that a phantom name, and it's actually somebody else?
Oh, that very well could be. That same
he says he's here.
Roly-poly.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What we got here?
Get in the box. Come on, get in the box.
Oh, damn.
Are you talking about the one now? I think looks like the mucus X dude.
If that's the case, why is he so afraid of accountability? I mean, I'd be in here showing my face.
Hey, put him in here. You didn't have to bring me up.
Well, I've been
you're the only one that bothered. Yeah,
I pushed it like after I popped in.
I just seen it, bud. I just seen it. I just seen it. I haven't. Yeah. All good. We've got a driver in here that's sitting still, not doing nothing, that could be watching that. Because, he's got to take a 10-hour break like the rest of us.
For some reason, I'm not seeing those things, bro.
Oh, you're not?
No. I'm sitting right in front of it. So, I don't know what you're talking about tough. I just want you to come up and let's have a debate here. Since you claim that,
Fake tough guy. Well, come on, buddy. Show your strength. Let's go.
You're the keyboard warrior there, Demetrius. You're the keyboard warrior. Get up there and show your face.
The radio. We got ourselves a newbie radio Rambo, folks.
Yeah, he's a fun warrior.
I'll even tell you what. I'll turn around and I'll make the OG keep quiet for it. And we'll let everybody else go after you.
So you all know he works for the dispatch companies that call you guys all the time, but don't have any broker authority.
Right.
Text me loads, and I'm not even interested in it.
Right.
There it is.
Or the non-existent loads that won't pay a tanu.
Right.
Yeah. His thumbs work for everything except for hitting the button to accept the invite.
Right?
Yeah.
And opening the KY bottle, because that's all he knows is his hand.
Yeah.
Mac Daddy went even
lower.
Damn.
When you're getting hit up from every side, you might want to come up here and defend yourself.
Yeah, come on, tough guy.
Woo! Because I'll even say this, and Mike and Sam will be mad at me. The ELD is not the problem. It's the hours of service that are a problem.
We ain't mad about that.
The recording device.
We have that on. That's on the docket. We're just waiting for a comment period.
Yeah.
We have an hours of service modification in. It's just a matter of waiting.
Yeah. But I don't understand why you guys want people to work for to make that extra money.
Listen, Mike.
It'd be easier to give me the
dollar.
$1.
Okay, Moonshine. Okay, Moonshine.
They can't handle it now.
I've seen people make comments like that the last few days. Why do I want to go to paper? Why can't I just get paid for what I'm worth? And I'm sitting there going, if you're sitting for if you're only driving 2,500 miles a week, you're the problem. Your choice of companies to work with, you're the problem.
You're really not going to like me then, because for many years, I barely ran. I barely ran 2,200 miles a week.
I was going to say,
drivers, Laura.
What's that?
The 2,000-mile guys alone, because I'm one of them.
I know. You don't complain. Laura's drivers don't complain. These guys that are driving 2,500 miles that are playing Truck Stop Queen every 3 days, they're the ones complaining. They want more money for the little bit of work that they do.
Are you talking about our VP of social media? Are you talking about our VP of social media that just, I think, probably sat in a truck stop for 3 days? Is that what you're saying?
I can't.
Hey, I just hit 600 miles for the day, and I'm hurting now. I'm going to have to take a day off.
I know.
Oh, there it is.
Fully aware.
If they were to change anything with the ELDs, they need to take it to where all of the platforms of the ELDs that the FMCSA has accepted as a device that they will allow you to have, is they need to take all the editing away from it and only be able to put notes in that driver or shop mechanic drove on this drive line from this time to this time. And here's the receipt from the shop. Some stuff like that. You should be able to change your off-duty to sleeper berth, sleeper to off-duty. And
you can. You just can't change it. You just can't change your drive time.
Well, these people are going in
You can do anything
drive
with your
lines.
on-duty time.
Right, but they should
no,
not be able to
drivers
let these
can't
guys
do that.
change. The driver cannot, but the company is changing it for the drivers.
No,
Yeah, that they are.
You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You cannot
According
change.
to, yes,
even,
they can. Yes, you can.
not
changed
not
all
with
that years
motives.
ago.
Not with motives. Not with
Oh no,
motives.
there's a way
It was
to
an
do it. There's absolutely a
AOBRD,
way to
and
do
when
it.
they went to absolute EWOGs, you can't. They audit all these things.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
the
here's
driver
the other
can't.
thing that and nobody's talking about right now is that when a carrier makes the edit, the driver has to accept it or it doesn't go through.
Yep.
So
Right.
So how are these guys getting their drive lines changed to where they're starting all over again after being off for 6 hours with another 70-hour clock?
Because I'll
They
tell you
go
how
in,
they're
they
doing it.
move
I'll
the
tell you
office.
100%
Most
how
of
they're doing
those
it.
are overseas.
Those are ghost drivers, right? So
Yeah, that's
they're
the crap they need to stop.
they're creating
Yes.
an account. Like if you apply at one of those companies, they're taking your information, right, and creating a log account with it on their motive, right? They're dumping those hours off on those ghost drivers, giving their drivers back fresh clocks. That's exactly how they're doing it.
another way that's happening is I know several carriers that have newer trucks that require ELDs, and then they have older trucks that don't. And the guys that are driving the older trucks that are company drivers are quote unquote in with the guy who's driving the newer truck and has the ELD. So it is a ghost driver, and they're doing it that way. It happens around here all the damn time.
And that's
My
I'm going to
issue-
say this, and that's going to make some people mad, but we need to have some self-accountability, and the driver needs to say, no, I'm not doing that.
They're
Well,
being
that's the
threatened
problem.
with their job.
That
They
is
got
the
bills
problem
to
with
pay.
everybody, just like McClown and the rest of them. Nobody has a fucking spine to hold up their nuts anymore, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And so, just like that, I have ELDs in my trucks. I like them. They work for what I do. And my guys don't get overworked. Anybody that knows us, that's not how we do it. My issue is that we are, because the ELDs are mandated, the price is set and the carriers have to pay. So now if this thing goes through, that's great. But now I'm strapped into a contract, and you're not going to tell me that Samsara or Motive or anybody's going to let you out of your fucking contract.
Yeah,
It should drive the prices of ELDs down, which should be phenomenal. If you want to use them, it's a great tool. It's a great way to keep your nose clean during an audit. You don't have to make shit up or dig shit up. It's all right there.
Well, so this is the thing. The whole main one of the I'm gonna tell you, explain to everybody here what the reasons or main reasons of why I do it. One, you already spoke of. It's going to help drive the price down. Two, the English language side. You're going to have to know it to be able to fill it out. Three, this actually gives a choice to the people. If they want to do it the one way, that's fine. I'm going to tell everybody. Sam and I have already had this conversation. I plan on keeping my ELD. It has nothing to do. I'm not going over to paper. I'm going to keep out my ELD, and that's fine. But this gives everybody the choice.
And that's the core that I'm fighting on. Is we're watching the government step in every other time we turn around. Every time we turn around, they're trying to eliminate choice and mandate what they deem they want. And most of it is wrapped around who's got what investment in what company. And that's what it really does. It really revolves a lot around that. We have a choice. This is not a nation like China or Russia used to be. This is a free to choose America. And right now there are two products recognized by the FMCSA as safe: paper and ELD. That means there's a choice. Whether they want to admit it or not, they left that door open. I heard a comment the other day, and the commenter was not wrong. This is a lawsuit. This could very well be a lawsuit because you're forcing people in an industry to buy a product when the choice is on the table. So yeah, it very well could be a lawsuit. It could be a massive one. But we didn't go that route. All we want is choice. This is it. I said nothing different in my comment for the FMCSA.
I
This
see your
doesn't boil
point
down
there.
to anything more than choice for me, because I'm tired of people trying to tell me that, oh, you can't have a manual, you've got to drive an automatic because that way, automatic's going to run the new thing. I don't care. I like my manual. I like control of my truck. If I want paper, I want the choice. Whether I stick to ELD, which I probably will, like Laura said, it's got everything there. Everything's there. I don't care about who they sell information to. I don't give a crap. Sell it to China. I don't care. But I want my choice to choose one or the other.
Do you remember when the 11 and 14 to 70 first came in? October of 04. Walmart said we'd have to increase our fleet 30%. They sued. They lost. They're the largest company on the history of the planet. I don't care about market value. They have more revenue and more employees than the federal government, okay? They couldn't get them to change. So I don't think they'll ever go back to paper. I mean, it's everybody likes to
that's that minded. You're.
I'm just being a
what
realist.
we're trying to change.
I'm just being a realist here.
That's a mindset, dude. That is the mindset they hope that every one of us will have. Well, I don't think they're ever going to change, so I'm not going to go comment. Okay, don't. You just gave up your voice, dude.
No, I mean, I'm with you on this, man. We're all brothers out here, but I mean, you realistically think that they are going to do that?
Well, this is the thing. This is where I keep saying this. We have to come together, and we have to come together under an umbrella, and that umbrella has to be the same. And it has to be something that is true, factual, and capable of passing any.
What we really need is a huge company to get behind us as well. So, yeah, we need somebody with some real clout up there.
And I hear that, but this is the thing, though. You still have to. You can have that company come in, but if it is not something that is going to be true, factual, and be able to be defended against any rule, regulation, or law, it doesn't matter. This is why. And I wasn't going to do this, but this is a perfect proof example. This is why the other A part will never pass, because it cannot pass against law, rule, and regulation. What we're trying to do actually does. This is the reason why ours actually gained a comment period, because it was written so that it would pass that. It has to be able to pass all rules, regulations, and laws. And so if you get enough people and a carrier or two, larger carriers, to support the same movement, you will.
That's what I'm saying. We got to get somebody big on our side like that, a big lobbyist group or company.
I will tell you this. We are like 6 months into this as the FOPT. We are the new kids on the block, if you will. So everything takes time.
I must have misunderstood you guys from the word go last year. I thought you've been at this like 5 years, so 6 months.
What do you mean last year? We started this in August.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
We have been advocates. We've been advocates that long. We just haven't had the group operational that long.
Well, I know about the NADRA, the NAFTA, all that, and I just thought yours like kind of fell in that NADRA. I thought when you guys got out of that, you went into that one.
No, well, there's a whole other timeline there, but we're not going to get into that because I'm going to just say this, and I hold true to this. There is no future in the past.
No.
So
now, I'll stand shoulder to shoulder with you guys on the line. I got no issue with it.
You know what I think we need to push for, though, too? If we're going to be stuck with the ELDs and not get a choice, then I don't know how we can get them to stand behind, hey, quit overcharging these drivers for something that we're saying they have to have.
Well, that's next step. We need to find out where this is going to go. First of all,
I don't know
if you end up with 5,000 signatures on this thing, and 4,800 are saying we want this, and 200 are saying no, and they don't pass it. First of all, you're going to have an entire industry that is absolutely infuriated with FMCSA to a point that it's going to be unbelievable.
It's already
There's
there.
one question on that government we have to have. Every place you go that says you have to have this, they have to pay you for it or reimburse you. You have to have uniform. The government said you have to have that. They have to provide that, correct? They can't force you into it and say,
and there's the
it's our rule.
So on that, so hold on a minute here. If we're going to talk about that, the law actually states this: on a uniform, if you're going to make the company pay for it, it has to be a uniform that cannot go through and be used at another facility or establishment.
Correct.
Basically stating if you have it like embroidered with the FOPT, that obviously can't be worn over at OIDA. So you would have to supply that to your employees. If it's a generic style shirt, like you say, you have to wear like black slacks and a polo, but it doesn't have to have any embroidery on it, then you don't have to pay for it. So
okay, so bring that into the EOD. They're saying you have to run it, but yet it costs X number of dollars. The government should provide it. Correct?
Yeah.
Especially if you're an owner-operator, right?
Ooh, I'd be careful of that one.
yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm just throwing it out there.
You don't want the government. You don't want the government paying for it.
The only thing I'm going to say to that one is I
do-
think there should be a cap on how much they can charge.
There it is. There it is. A cap.
Well, hold on.
There should be a
Hold
cap
on.
across
Wait
the
a
board.
minute. I don't know if you can
write
do a
it off
cap.
on your taxes.
I don't know if you can do a cap
Now,
because
can you
as
write
soon
it
as
off
you
on your
open up that
taxes? That's
cap,
an expense, correct?
I write it off
well,
on my
hold on.
taxes, yes.
if you bring in the caps,
Okay.
y'all, that brings in the whole other nonsense from that other side that they want to cap brokers.
Oh boy.
You cannot bring in caps.
They don't want to cap brokers. They want to get rid of brokers. Who are you kidding?
Yeah, now they want to get rid of them.
I've
They
got a
went from
whole
making
bunch of
brokers-
comments about that.
But yeah, they want to go from actually cutting the broker back to 3% to getting rid of brokers altogether now.
Yeah, there's a whole line of comments on that one.
Yeah.
He just knows that
Okay,
there's
how
not going to
about
be a
this?
way to
How
get
about-
rid of them, so cap them.
How come like OIDA and ATA haven't started their own brokerage firm or a bunch of owner-ops get together and do it?
Oh, hush.
You know, to counter C.H. Robinson. and
Hey,
all that.
Dexy, we're about to turn around and throw a piece of tape around your mouth the way you keep talking.
What are you doing? I wish I could reach to this phone right now, boy. You don't say stuff like that. Now you're going to give them ideas. Oh, my word. Now we're in trouble.
Damn it, Dexy.
Hey,
I got
Sam,
sexy, but dude.
I'm not seeing. Oh, never mind. Here we go.
I was
I
going
got
to say
it.
something talking about making the government pay for it. All right. Something you probably don't think of. And I've been involved in some other businesses that have been required to have things for OSHA and other things, and in restaurant stuff. And in the food business, a restaurant has to, in order to open the doors, you have to have an ANSEL system, or you're not opening your doors. Nobody pays for that. You, the owner of the building, pays for that. No different than if you're going to get in trucking, you know you have to have an ELO device, and you've got to pay for it. Gas stations are required to have emergency shutoffs outside the building. That costs money for that building owner. The city don't pay for it. The permit department don't pay for it. Okay, they have to pay for it, but they have to have it if they're going to open. They have to have fire extinguishers out there by the gas pumps. All right, competition will keep the price down. Just like with those businesses, you have different fire companies that come by and monitor and service their fire extinguishers. You have different companies that come by and certify your ANSEL system every year. So if they would allow more competition into the ELD market, or more people willing to make software and the programs and ELDs that meet the requirements required by the FMCSA, that would bring the price down, just like with cell phone carriers. You know, you got T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, Cricket, and all this other stuff. Competition brings the price down, just like it does in moving the freight. The more trucks there are, the more brokers there are, the cheaper the stuff moves. If there was only one broker, stuff would be higher, you know?
Yep.
The problem with that
Find
is
it, Mike.
that the FMCSA is continuously cutting that list shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yeah. And are they cutting that list though? And this I'm going to ask this because I don't know. Are they cutting that list because these other manufacturers and providers of the ELDs are not meeting the requirements, or are they just trying to limit the amount
I think they're
of
cutting the
providers
list
that they're
because
on?
here's my opinion on that. I think they're cutting the list because the floodgates were open, just like during COVID. Everybody went out and bought trucks. We have a whole industry filled with schmucks with trucks that thought they were going to make millions. Now we have ELDs. Everybody and their gaming child came together and came up with their own ELD, so it flooded the market, and they didn't have a check and balance in before they started letting everybody do this. So now they're having to go and spend more money and more time and start booting some of this crap out. That's my take on it.
Right, because they let too much in that didn't meet the standards or whatever, and everybody and their brother was doing it.
Yes.
So they're cutting it back. But they need to have, say at least 8 different providers of it for the industry, or 10 or something like that. They need to have more than just 2 or 3 to allow you to choose from.
Well, here's the problem with that, Rocky, is it's almost like that Swift Knight. They're buying all these little companies out, and you're going to get a company like Motive that's going to start buying these other companies out, even though they're going to let the name stay on the program.
Yeah.
Oh, Motive is already doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Already doing it. I get emails from Motive all the time about the new updates, who they're buying out, who they took over. And you get it. Motive is going to become the carrier of choice.
And I'm just going to add one thing in here to the FOPT. This live is going to cost you a lot of credits.
No, it's not.
There's not going to be much hitting the floor.
No, it's not. No, because I've got a social media manager, and he's got a couple of assistants that are going to be able to go through and do what they need to do.
But I'm just saying, there's not a whole lot that's going to hit the edit room floor.
No.
Oh, there's a lot in this.
I don't care. It's good information. That's what we're here for.
It very much so is.
I will pay that extra money for the good information to be given out to anybody and everybody that's a truck driver, versus when we had somebody else that was lazy, not you, sir, and they just posted up a bunch of bullshit.
But I'm just giving you a heads up on this one.
I need to cut in here because I'm about to get on 6377 and cut across the Arkansas mountains, and that's going to kill this whole live. So I'm going to end it while we're in.
Actually, hold on a minute.
We
Just
got
hold
like
still.
15 minutes.
No, hold still. I'm going to see if I can pop in real quick. Let me change it up on my tablet. I might be able to take it over.
Yeah, because there's a lot of good stuff in this one.
Absolutely. And listen, anybody who is in here, if you actually support the choice, that's all you're supporting is choice. It's not about the ELD. It's not about paper log. It's about the option of choice. If you guys support it, we need you over there. And if you're if you support removing these sexually dangerous people from owning, obtaining, or retaining a CDL, and get them out of the community and out of the communities that we serve, we could use you over there at change.org. And, and we really need to get that pushed. We got 90 days on it. We got time, but if you believe in it, we could use you over there too.
I'm just going to add one more thing to that, Matt. Just so everybody knows, when these things are written and put out there, they aren't taken lightly. Very long conversations are had to put the wording in correctly to make these things before they go out. There is a lot of back and forth on them so that everybody is happy with it.
Right.
Well, you have to, or nobody will take you seriously.
Yeah.
Well, we question everything.
Well,
we're inside the box, we're outside the box, we're above it, we're below it, we're moving it around. We empty the box 300 times, make sure no more questions come out, and then we decide whether or not we're putting it out.
Just to give one example, on the retaining for the fun people, if you will, that conversation was 2 hours long.
Yeah, it was.
On just that one little detail. And there was a lot of back and forth on that, picking it apart as to how they may be able to obtain it again. So, we don't take any of this lightly.
And none of it's out of judgment. It's all out of accountability. We don't look at judgment. We look at accountability. They walk a very fine line between the two, but we always try to stay on the accountability side at all times. Got about 12 minutes there, Cupcake.
Yeah, I think he's working on it. He kind of went out for a minute.
Yeah,
he can hear us, he just can't.
I'm looking at my extra ramp, 12 miles, and I've got about 5 miles before the whole thing starts acting up. If the videos are up, they're on FOBT, they're on Facebook. Again, if you signed a petition, you believe in it, we just ask that you get it out to the communities. Get it out to the people you know. Let them make their own decisions. We're not going to force a decision, but the one we got up on change.org, that is nationwide in every community, including our own. And that is legislative. That's not FMCSA, though. And just a heads up so that anybody who doesn't know what the FMCSA, they're standing.
Boom, got it. Yep, we got it. There we go.
Oh, he took it over.
Yeah. Yeah, they call me Magic Mike.
No.
Well then.
All right. Let's see here. Oh. Yep. I took it over. We're going to do crazy hair and everything.
Hey, Cupcake.
Hey, what's up?
This past weekend, for my 50th birthday, I went to Myron Mixon's, one of his memories class.
I seen that.
All open pit cooking and everything, the way Jack's Old South, his dad used to do it on the big open pits. No pellet smokers and grills and none of that shit. Just all big open pit stuff was there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Cooked, I don't know how many hundreds of pounds of all the different meats we did. You'll never guess who the hell was there.
Please tell me.
Brian Milton.
Really?
Yep, he was there with his wife, and also Joe Wicks, that owns the Eastern Chrome Shops, Mid-Eastern Chrome Shops, the one in Columbia, South Carolina, and the one up on 95 up there in Manning with the truck wash and all. They were there, and Brian's wife, dude, and man, I walked in, I was like, damn, where the hell do I know you from? Because I'd met him years and years ago. They did some work on a couple of my old Peterbilts with some lights and stainless and stuff, and out here in Joplin, and knowing him from being at the shows for all the years. And dude, I walked in there that Friday afternoon, was like, man, I know you from some damn where. But it was kind of cool. His wife is like a big time chef, and so he was there just to eat and be there with her. He don't do any cooking and all that. He just enjoys all her cooking. And also that she had been before to one of his other classes, and was at that class, and it was a damn great time. Damn good time.
I've seen a couple of the videos you put up there about being up there. So
one hell of an event. I love barbecuing and cooking and stuff, and I've always wanted to go to one of those. And
How did the whole
but man,
hog turn out that you was telling me about?
that was we tore into that Sunday for lunch, and that whole hog was, man, I haven't had better. We did a bunch of turkeys and turkey, chicken, briskets, tri-tip, hams, about 25 hams, probably 10, 15 briskets, probably 30, 40 racks of ribs. We made sausage, cut the pork up and ground it and seasoned it and did a good bit with cheese and a good bit without cheese, and smoked that in a smoker, little smokehouse. We did the whole hog. We had just so much stuff, so many different meats. I brought home about 50 pounds of meat.
wow.
All of us did. We tore, we all bagged up stuff and everything to bring home. There was 20 people in the class, and there was enough food for probably 3,000 people.
Wow.
It was crazy the amount of meats and stuff we were doing. But damn good time. But yeah, I was just surprised when I got there, and damn Brian Milton was there. We got talking about a couple of the trucks they had built, and all back in the day when they were doing the Chrome Shop Mafia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And all there, and he says, "Yeah, you had the car haulers, didn't you?" I said, "Yeah, I wish you'd have done one of mine like you did that one y'all did on the damn show that guy destroyed and sold for nothing." And his wife was like, "I was so mad at that guy. I wanted to go after that guy after what those guys did to that truck."
What'd they do to it? I never heard.
They built a car carrier, and they probably had, this truck, it was in pretty rough shape when they got it, but they redid this entire tractor with the stereo system and the whole interior and the engine and all this stuff, paint job and everything. Gorgeous looking truck. The guy drove it for a little while after that and just ran that thing in the dirt. Ran it in the dirt.
Man.
It was trashed. It was like a 15-year-old company Freightliner truck that had been in a big fleet where had 500 drivers in it, full of garbage. Completely trashed that thing. I haven't seen pictures of it in a long time. And then he was trying to sell it after he ragged it out. Not long after they had done it too, within a couple of years. But they put probably $200,000 into that truck, and the guy just destroyed it.
Yep.
That's crazy to me.
Dylan, did we get to work finally?
What was that?
Did we get to work finally?
What do you mean? Can you elaborate? Sorry.
Did you get a job? Did you get a job driving yet?
So I'm driving. I'm not with the other company I was with anymore, no longer. They had 3 trucks break down on me within the past, I want to say month or so. And then my best friend who owns a box truck business, he needed my help, so I knew more about it than he did. And I did all of his, I won't go too much. I don't want to be too much in detail. I'll just, start where I'm at now. But
well, yeah, we know about that. We know how that ended. I thought there was something after that.
No, that's not how it ended at all. So obviously you already knew the whole thing with whatever his name is.
Wait a minute, is this Dylan? I thought you blocked everybody. How the fuck did you get up here? Damn, we're talking about Dylan again. Well, man. This is bullshit.
Hey,
everybody up here is like two-faced and shit.
FOPT doesn't know the situation.
Yeah,
okay,
but we got
the difference is,
hold on. Two-faced that are, I hate Dylan, I hate this, I hate that. Yeah, I'm out of here. Fuck all you guys.
I don't even know the kid.
Yeah, I never said that.
I'll catch you up. I'll catch you up to speed. Dylan
don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you, Dex. If you want to meet me face to face and you want to fight about all this, we can do it.
Easy. Hey, whoa.
This is why Cupcake right here is what he's doing. So this is
what he did last time.
Can you
Stop.
drop him?
I'm gonna
leave.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not gonna listen to that on our live. Period.
I'm not here for that. I was here to ask a question about the ELD stuff. That's all I was.
I understand that. I understand that. I'm just saying this right now. I'm not dealing with drama on here. I'm not going to deal with this. I'm going to meet you somewhere. I'm not going to deal with all that nonsense. I'm not dealing with it.
All I came up to do was ask a question about an ELD. If they want to hate me, that's their choice. If that's their prerogative, if they want to lie about it, that's fine.
Kill it right there. Kill it right there.
I don't know what
ask
happened.
Your question.
Just ask the question.
My question was about ELDs, and that was it because that was the topic of discussion at the time. Oh, got the dog barking now. What?
So what's the question, Dylan?
Well, I'll ask it really quick, but it's about the driveline stuff.
What about it? Oh, he muted himself.
I had to mute myself. My dog was barking. I didn't want to entertain that out loud. So, well, no, it's more of like, so we were talking about how you can edit the driveline and all that stuff, right? The same thing you can do with paper logs, right? I'm assuming. Now,
okay. First off, you're not supposed to edit the driveline. Period.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm asking, like, how do you prevent companies from doing that? Because obviously, you have to certify the log at the end of the day.
You don't certify the log.
Right, you just don't certify it. Now, are you allowed to just click reject?
Yes. So if you go, so I'm going to throw this out here. I'm just going to throw a hypothetical.
Now, I don't deal with nobody.
I think I know what you're talking about, and this is what it's going to be.
So, like, you have a DOT inspection, right, on the side of the road, right? They cannot tell. They cannot tell whether that driveline was edited, messed with, or anything like that.
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can.
I just had one, and that was with the other company, and it was in Wyoming, and I walked away from that company because I almost got caught. And I walked away. I'm done. I'm on my own now, officially. If anybody wants to go look at my TikTok, you'll know that I'm on my own. You know that I'm a part owner now. Everybody knows that from if they've watched me long enough now. I'm now out of Kentucky, based out of Kentucky, with somebody. You know, we have SAMHSA, so we can't edit anything. Like, we don't allow our drivers to do it. We don't do it. Our insurance company requires us to have this ELD. We cannot switch that ELD to any other ELD because that's what they require us to have. Unfortunately, you know, and if we want to switch, then we'd have to switch our insurance company pretty much. So the reason being that we have to have them, the reason we have to have this particular ELD with our insurance company is because SAMHSA in and of itself, you cannot edit the driveline at all whatsoever under any circumstances. And that's what I look at. Now,
well, so this is the thing. Any of these ELD providers that allow any back office editing of the driveline, they're the ones that are getting removed and uncertified.
Which I know keep hearing ghost drivers, but that's not, I've been in the office when they've done it. That is not entirely true at all. They're not adding ghost drivers. What they're doing is they're going back so far within the days of a logbook itself and editing the mileage, editing where the driver was, editing the shipping documents, so forth and so on. Now, where I know for a fact you might not get caught on a DOT inspection on the side of the road, that may be true. But where you will get caught at is an audit because you're going to have to hand over your fuel receipts.
Right.
And that's where you're going to get caught at. Now, what a lot of these companies, from what I understand, they hand them a fuel card that does not have any access to any of the fuel receipts, and they just pay for fuel out of cash, like straight cash, strictly cash, that's it. So it cannot be traced. That was how this company that I was at did it. We didn't use fuel cards. We went inside, got an EFS check, got our fuel, went on about our business.
So this is the thing. This is the thing. There are ways that you can get around any of the rules and regulations that are out there.
Right.
Because I can tell you right now, the FMCSA, they have a budget of about, what is it? I think it's like $1 billion.
I don't know.
They're somewhere in that ballpark. It's pretty close to the $1 billion.
Okay, wow.
Over 50% of their budget is spent on grants.
Okay.
Only like 40, I think it's like 46% of that money gets spent on enforcement. So when you look at that and you see what's going on there, they're not able to really enforce what they need to enforce. And so what happens is that you go through and you have people that are creating ELD software. They're allowing the back office editing and stuff like that to go on. Yes, a lot of these companies are running rogue. They're basically hoping and praying that they don't get dealt with an audit, because if they do, they know they don't have receipts to match the times and dates.
Nope.
You know, they're basically going to get shut down. But those are also the same companies that you see a lot of these trucks at the fuel island changing the DOT numbers. As one of their driver gets busted or something, and they get a notice to stop, a cease and desist from the FMCSA, they just put another set of numbers on the truck and keep going down the road.
Yep. Well, like my company that I'm at now, well, not my company. I mean, it pretty much is. I pretty much split everything down the middle. We rent the truck, so we don't have to worry about maintenance, repairs, all that stupid stuff. If I break down here on the side of the road, they're coming to tell me I'm getting a new truck as soon as I want it. You know, I won't say what I pay for rent. That's not nobody's business. I won't say what my expenses are. That's not nobody's business. I will say that I make decent money where I'm at. I get to dispatch myself. I get to do kind of what I want to do in regards to where I want to go. So I guess that's kind of flexibility type thing. I mean, you know, I get to go home when I want, stuff like that. As long as I'm making money for me and him, then that's all he cares about.
Right.
But RELD, I love it. Like, I know a lot of people talk about Samstra's trash and all that stuff, but once your drive time's up, it's up. Sorry. You know, you can't.
Yeah, well, that's where, and that right there is where the Samsara you'll never see go away.
Oh, no.
It's kind of like Road Ready Solutions that I use. You're never going to see them go away because they are playing inside of the parameters that the DOT requires.
So we did mess around with it the other day, not for trying to mess with anything, but you know, we did it to stop.
I'm assuming we're dealing with a dog again.
Unfortunately, it's a puppy, so shit. No. Ugh. I got a kid on the way, and then I also got this puppy. Oh, okay.
Bark collars, whistles,
water bottle.
Yep, that works too. Yep. So, well, I guess it's just you and me on here unless he gets done doing what he's doing there. So, because I think Rocky's muted as well. He must be working.
Yeah,
so.
Rocky's mute.
Yeah, which I will say thank you, Dexter, for the drama. You know, that just basically killed the live there. So,
yeah.
I'm out here blowing off my driveway and stuff.
I figured you were working, Rock.
Didn't want you hearing that.
Yeah, I figured you were working. So, yeah.
I know Rocky knows more about the situation than you guys do, but if you guys would like the recording of what happened between me and them, I'm more than glad to share it.
Dylan, I don't care. I really don't care.
And that's the funny thing, because they would rather lie about it than actually face the truth. They would rather.
Dylan,
I'm not getting into it.
Dylan,
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not getting into it.
Dylan, just drop it, buddy. Nobody gives a shit. Okay.
Yeah.
We know what happened in the past. I know what happened. Nobody cares. Just drop it.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't care. I'm going to say where I'm at. If you bring it up one more time, Dylan, I'm going to ask you to leave. I will just tell you that, because I don't care. We over here at the FOPT, professional truckers.
Right.
I don't care about the nonsense.
Right.
We're here to educate and help others. Please leave that other stuff out there in TikTok land for y'all to deal with. So
there's a lot of other lives you can go to and bring in all the drama.
I mean, I don't want nothing to do with them if they're just going to do that stuff over and over.
So let's just, moving along. So, well, Sarah's back in here, I think. So let's bring her back in, hopefully. I will explain this, Dylan. I know you're I don't know if you know much about what we kind of got going on over here.
I do a little bit.
Okay, so we're basically trying to get everything in trucking. We're trying to re-engineer the industry, and we're trying to re-engineer it for the better. Okay, so I don't want to bring in drama, but what I do want to bring in is questions, challenges to our ideas, ideas of making it better. If you see something that that you've dealt with on a day-to-day basis, or like you had questions about a situation going on in trucking because you're new to it and you don't quite understand. We have over 150 years of experience inside the FOPT, okay, of our board members. All right. The least amount of driving years that we have on anybody that's involved with it is 15 years. The rest of us are all over 20s and stuff. So,
and like
it's one of those things. That's why I say,
I don't care about it. I'm
gonna make out of here, but I'll give you a call. Give me a call later, right?
Okay, when I get done with the live, I'll call you, hon. Yeah, when I get done with the live, I'll call you. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to leave, but I don't want any drama inside here. This is for everybody to be able to learn, challenge our ideas and stuff. The drama stuff I can't deal with in here. I'm not.
Yeah, and I really don't like cutting that stuff.
I don't have drama with Sarah or anybody like that when they come. It's only
once again, just let it go. Just let it go.
Right.
I'm just saying this for Sarah right now. This is where we're at with it. Federation of Professional Truckers. We need to all be professional. That's all I ask. I don't mind somebody drops an F-bomb or says fuck or any of that, whatever. That happens. We're all truck drivers. We're all adults here. But the rest of it is the rest of it. So, and the thing of it is Dylan, if you need to call and vent, sir, if you go to our webpage, my phone number is there on the webpage, or you have questions that you want to ask outside of a live, please feel free to call me, buddy. It's right there.
Rocky can kind of clarify this. I haven't been around since the incidents happened, which was about almost a month and a half ago.
Hey.
It don't matter, Dylan.
It really don't.
It don't matter, buddy. Just yeah. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I've been quiet on social media since last Friday when I left to go on my trip to get away from all the drama and all the BS because I only take it for so long. And then when I came back Monday, I was just listening in some lives with a lot of drama, and I have not been in any of them because of it. We don't need that drama here, okay? All that BS, drop it, shut your mouth about it, go to the other pages that like that shit, and do that there.
I don't want to deal with that.
Okay, the people here that don't know about it don't need to know about it, okay? That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yep. So other than that, Dylan, I know you had some issues with your companies before. How are things going with this company you're with now? I mean, are they doing you right?
It's basically my company because I'm the one that runs it.
Okay, so are you then? Did you wind up getting your own authority then, or
No, it's not my authority, but I do. So the guy that owns the authority, he works at the airport. He says, "Hey, I will let you handle everything. You handle the paperwork. You handle the dispatch. You handle this. You handle that. You can go home when you want to go home. You can book your own loads. You can deal with the fuel bill. Everything on your own." So basically,
he owns the company. He takes care of the financial side. You take care of the day-to-day operation side.
It
kind of sounds like I got another guy I know named Wade. It's the same way with him. It basically the guy that has the authority owns the credit card and the everything, but he takes care of booking the loads, going home, all that.
Well, like for me, right? Like I won't say what I've made this week because that's nobody's business. Obviously, I don't care to share that. But like for me specifically, like I split everything right down the middle except the only thing that I don't split down the middle, I believe right now, is the insurance. That's the only thing I don't split down the middle.
Okay.
As far as the rental, as far as the fuel bill, as far as the tolls, as far as the we don't have maintenance and repairs on our truck, but I know our insurance, it's like $1,200 a month is what it is when I last checked it. But I basically.
So do you then lease the equipment then from like a leasing company?
No, it's from Enterprise.
Okay. And it's a leasing company.
Now,
so yeah,
I'm not gonna ever now like me. We pay between $500 to $700 a week for our rental. Like renting is like for me. Everybody might disagree with this. I like renting because I don't have to worry about maintenance. I don't have to worry about repairs. I don't have to worry about a tire blowout. I don't have to worry about an oil change. If my truck breaks down, I can come and go get a new one and be right back down the road.
Right.
You know,
right. It lowers your overhead.
How much is my overhead?
No, it lowers your overhead.
Oh yeah, it definitely lowers it. But like for me, the rent, the insurance, the tolls, the fuel bill, there might be one or two other expenses. But I calculated our expenses to what it should be. I just did all the mileage that. Well, I'm not done with this week yet. I still got one more load to pick up in Florida, in Jacksonville. And then I got one load to pick up on Friday to drop off Monday with a team driver. So my buddy that I was team driving with, or letting me team drive with, he'll be with me as of tomorrow or Friday. Probably tomorrow, most likely, is the plan. We did fire one driver yesterday. I won't get into all the reasons why, but it was a very poor decision. The owner was like, hey, I need your advice. I don't know what to do about the situation. I felt desperate. That's why I hired the guy. You know, I didn't have no drivers. I need money in my pocket. And I'm like, before we do this mistake again, why don't you ask me what you should pay a driver? Because this is not what you pay a driver. He was paying $1,500 a week to this said driver, but he was only bringing in $4,000 to $5,000 to the truck itself. And I said, no, you can't do this. You're not profiting anything. And then I came in and I basically, I don't need to share rate cons. That's for me and my own personal customers who I have relationships with. You know, I've learned that lesson from Rocky. He kind of taught me that lesson. Don't share that stuff. You know. And
yeah, you don't. That's a good way to lose a contract.
Well, it's with TQL. I know it's with TQL, and I know everybody has their own opinions about TQL and all that. That's fine. But I've had pretty good experience.
So basically what you're telling me is that you work for Darth Vader. So, and,
pretty much.
you know, anyways. But I will tell you this, that pay, $1,500 on $5,000, that's 30%. That's not out of this norm. That's not out of the norm. Not
for a box truck it is. For a box truck it is. Because specifically... No, I will tell you why 30% for a box truck is not good at all for any circumstances. One, let's say you have $5,000 to the truck, right? That's to the truck itself. That doesn't take away any of the expense. You still have fuel, you still have insurance, you still have tolls.
I run a trucking company. I know what goes into them. I've also been in the industry for 28 years, and I can tell you this. I was making 31% when I was making percentage, and this goes back to 2013, 2014. And we're talking about 10 years later when things are 30% higher than they are today.
I don't mind paying a driver that if they're worth it. But if you're going to miss every single pickup and every single drop-off, like this driver specifically.
Well, that's a horse of a different color. See, when you made the statement though of $1,500 is too much to pay a driver on $5,000.
That specific driver.
Well, I understand that, but you need to kind of, I guess, maybe change your mindset on it because at first it really, because you got to understand if you want good quality drivers, okay. John Force said it best. And I took this when I had a conversation with him when I was 16 years old at the racetrack. Okay. And John said it best because I asked him, I said, I was curious how he had become so successful. And he said, when you pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
Right.
Okay. When you pay them a little bit of money, you're not going to get somebody that has high critical thinking skills. You know, I mean, look at a monkey at a zoo. All they do is jump around in a tree and they eat the fruits and vegetables that they can, and that's about it. They're not building anything really. I mean, yeah, some of them do out in the wild, but for the most part, they're not as a sophisticated society as we are as human beings. So when you pay chump change, you're going to get chumps. That's what's going to happen.
And the only thing I can say about the box truck industry in and of itself, because I've been around it a long time, maybe not as trucking as long as you guys, but I've been around it long enough to know the national standard average for percentage pay for a box truck driver is normally 20% plus bonuses on top of that. Like if they get $6,000, they get a $100 bonus, blah, 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 so forth and so on, right? Now, so for $5,000, right? Let's say your fuel bill is...
Right. And you know what the funny part about that is, though, Dylan? When you start talking about averages, and I watch all these average box truck drivers out here on the road as I go by, the average box truck driver hangs out in the middle lane, clogging up traffic, impeding the flow of traffic, causing traffic congestions. So this kind of does go to where some people do. I will agree with, if you want more money, then you need or want better drivers, you do kind of have to pay better money. But yes, at the same time, if you get a driver that doesn't know what they're doing, you immediately remove them.
That's what we had in this situation. I was not aware of it at this specific time. He called me and said, hey, this driver was late on a pickup. He needed to be at another pickup, could not make that pickup because he missed this pickup. Made this broker mad, so it made that broker mad. And then not only that, I was the one that was dispatching him. And not only that, he was like, well, why are you pre-booking loads and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's not your job to tell me what to do when I'm the one paying for the bills here, not you. You don't pay anything here. And so he was like, pretty much like, I don't have to listen to you, blah, blah, blah. And so I basically just said, hey, you got to go. I can't deal with this anymore.
Right.
And that was that. Like, he was not worth the money that he was not worth the money that we put into him. And not only that, he barely had any experience at all. The owner felt desperate enough, and he needed a driver just to fill the seat, which, unfortunately, that's about every company nowadays. I don't care where you go. A lot of companies are desperate.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this. If you go have a conversation with Trucking by the Grace of God there, she's actually one of our mentors and one of our board members. Her name's Laura. She actually runs a trucking company. They've been in business for like 30-some years.
37.
She will tell you, she doesn't just hire anybody off the street based off of being desperate. She doesn't do that.
So do you think, so if I go to hire a driver for our second box truck that we're about to hire a driver, do you think I should ride with him to make sure he knows what he's doing?
For sure. You always do a road test. If you do not perform a road test, what are you doing?
No, not that he knows how to drive the vehicle. No, it does not. But you do have to have a medical card.
There you go. Yeah, but I don't care whether you have to have a medical card or not. If I were to hire you to drive my Equinox around, I'm going to road test you.
Right, just because. Right, and the thing about it is, just because he goes with me on a road test, okay, yeah, you know how to drive, but like, do you know how to make your pickups on time? Do you know how to make your drop-offs on time? Do you know how to?
Dylan, I think that what Cupcake is saying is, I think that there's an aspect of professionalism, like when you are driving big truck, that I don't think happens to trend or to actually maybe filter through down to people who drive box trucks. You know, it's just they're very different worlds. You know what I mean?
And let me rephrase
but
that
they
question.
Should be the same though.
For some box trucks, and I will rephrase that question.
It just says it's not there. You can tell.
For some box trucks, you do need a CDL. I will say that. For some, you do.
It's the GVW. If it's above 26,000, you have to have the CDL. If it's below 26,000, you don't. This is the thing. If you're going to operate anything, Dylan, if you're going to operate anything that has to do with transportation, okay? And this doesn't, Cisco, he's a carrier and a broker. I'm a carrier. Sam at one time was, the Northman. Rocky, he's been a carrier, but he's still a business owner. And this kind of goes, you have to do your due diligence. And you have to basically try to bring any and all aspects. And My father taught me this one as well. A smart man learns from his own mistakes, and a wise man learns from others. Basically, meaning if you pay attention to what other people are doing and the mistakes that they make, you might not make those same mistakes. So if you go through and you see we'll take Night for instance. They road test all of their drivers. They also go through a screening process. TMC does the same thing. They road test their drivers. Hell, you got to go out on their maneuverability pad and be able to prove to them that you can operate a truck just backing it up in first gear or reverse safely. So if you can't perform those duties, because Sam will tell you, the guy that's right above you up here, we had a guy in our orientation class that ran into one of the K-rails that was protecting a light pole on the maneuverability course in first gear. I knew you would, sir. I knew you would. How do you run into a K-rail in first gear with a light pole behind it if you're not paid? And that right there, by doing those things, the road test, have a lengthy conversation with this person. Find out about how they are in their real life. Ask them questions about how organized they are and stuff. If you need help with maybe coming up with that, please get a hold of me, and I will help put together a questionnaire for you to kind of ask these guys or gals that you're hiring to help you in your hiring processes. So that you're not going through and hiring just any jackwad off the street.
The only person
you can tell when you've got a professional truck driver and you're in there doing a road test with them. Are they using their signal? Simple things like, are they throwing waves up to the fellow truck drivers that are going by, or are they just ignoring them? Are they maneuvering between the lanes? Are they leaving enough room? Are they giving themselves, and a lot of people don't utilize this, like myself, a lot of us in here know what this is, but a lot of new ones don't. Are they utilizing the Smith system? Are they looking ahead? Are they watching their mirrors? Is their head bobbing like a chicken? When they pull up to your office, just glance over at their vehicle. Is it clean? Is it full of junk? If it hasn't been washed in a week and it looks like there's about enough trash in there to choke fuel, they don't take care of their own vehicle. They're not taking care of yours.
Right.
Man, you can tell a person and how they're going to be in their truck just by looking at their personal vehicle.
Like my best friend that I'm going to pick up.
Matt?
Go ahead, Rocky.
Yes, sir.
You just said the first thing I did with every driver that I interviewed, I met them somewhere for lunch so I could see their vehicle pull up.
Yep.
And I'd walk over and shake their hand and look in their damn windshield. That was the first damn thing I did. And that told me whether I was going to spend 15 minutes with them at lunch or an hour. Before we even went with the trucks and talked anything else.
The first CDL job I took as a car carrier, the guy walked over to he had me come to his yard, and he met me right next to my driver's door, and he shook my hand, and I watched him. He looked over one side, he looked over the other, and I looked at him and said, well, what are you doing? He says, don't mind me. I judge a man by his car, and that tells me how he's going to take care of my equipment. He says, you look like you can eat off the floor in there. I said, that's basically how I'm just very meticulous. He says,
yep. And I did that.
As far as I'm concerned, you're hired. I just got to run your license. And I'm going, hey, whatever.
Yeah. I learned that from the first guy I drove for, and that's what he did to me.
Yep. Like the guy that hired me, he not really hired me, but I bought in. He basically asked me a bunch of questions. I knew more about it than he did. Okay, well, how do you put a compliance folder? How do you put a compliance folder together? How do you deal with fuel card mess ups? How do you deal with ELD mess ups? How do you deal with brokers and customers and shipper and everyday relations? How do you deal with when to pay a driver? How do you deal with what to pay a driver? And those things are things that I knew, and things that I learned from my grandfather when he owned his trucking company, which I think he still does, from what I understand. I'd have to ask him again. But, for me specifically, I'm not the one that hired this driver. I was away in the other company. he hired the driver. I found out that he was not typically the type of driver that anybody in here would probably hire at all. And he just did not perform well for me. And, he acted like I was being rude at every single turn. And I'm like, no, sir, you are late on every single pickup. You are late to the next pickups. You are late to the drop-offs. You don't know anything about how to turn in paperwork properly. Why should I pay you $1,500? You tell me why I should pay you that, and then I might pay you that. But you tell me why you're worth it, and then I might pay you that. But I have to see that you're worth it first. I'm not just going to be like, oh, here's $1,500 a week if you're not worth it.
Well, this is where a lengthy screening process actually helps. So, hey JJ, if you want to, it's cupcake. Hop up in a box, Bubba. This is where a lengthy screening process, it comes to fruition at the end. Mm-hmm. Because when you go through this lengthy screening process of the road test, or like Rocky says, you go to lunch with them, or you meet them out at their car like Matt was talking about, and you just kind of see how they keep their life organized or not. If they're, I can tell you right now, if you're not an organized person, you're not going to do well with paperwork, because all paperwork mainly comes to is organization.
Right, like my boss.
Keeping all of your bills together for this load, and then all your fuel receipts together, and your washouts or washes and repairs, and you need to be able to make sure that you have them all paper clipped or stapled together, because this all went with this load, this all went with this load. If you got them all jumbled together and you turn your paperwork in 2 weeks later, are you going to be able to remember what each bill went with what?
Right.
And especially if you went to the same consignee multiple times? No.
Yeah.
You're not.
Now, I will tell you the fun part about all this. My boss, he was like, I do not know anything about this type of industry. Can you please help me? I just opened this company on a whim because I thought I could make money. It's like, okay, there's your first mistake. You thought you could make money. I basically, I haven't paid him any money, but I have booked a lot of loads with him lately to pull him out of the hellhole that he's put himself in. He was at $25,000 worth of debt when he started. Now he's at about 18. I'm trying to get it down more. He was putting everything on the credit card, and I was like, you cannot do that. Do you know how to get fuel advances? He was like, no, I don't know how to do that. I was like, do you know how to send in stuff to the factory company? He's like, no, I don't know how to do that. I was like, do you know what the driver qualifications are? He was like, no, I do not know. I said, well, first of all, when you hire a driver, you need to make sure they have a valid license, they have a medical card, they have an MVR report, they take a drug test, and they can pass the drug test, and you put them on a road test. And you do what you need to do. But he does not know. If I put him in this box, he could not tell you one thing about compliance binders. I literally yesterday, when we got rid of this driver, I hopped in the truck and I said, "Where's your compliance binder?" He said, "Oh, I don't have one." And I was like, "Do you want to realize how fast you're about to get put out of service if you do not have one of those?" He's like, "Yeah, but the driver had all the documents that he can just send over to the FMC, that he could send over to the DOT guys." I was like, "That's not how that works. Just because he could send them, they must be in a binder that I can hand the officer out the window. It needs to be available and ready. He needs to be able to see all the documents. Just because they're on my phone don't mean anything. It's an automatic out of service violation because you don't have to."
I'm gonna stop you right there. And I know a guy that got a sticker recently, and that compliance binder was never asked for. He was never asked for that compliance binder. They don't necessarily have to have it.
I don't want to hear about your sticker. I don't want to hear about your sticker.
I just said I know a guy.
None of that stuff has to be in a binder.
That's something for Sam.
You must have access.
Sam got his sticker. Let him brag a little bit, man. That's a
no, because I've been driving for 28 years and never got a sticker.
I didn't say it. It was me. I just said I knew a guy.
Yeah, don't start.
You're the one that got hurt.
Oh, Lord.
I'm telling you right now.
But what I understand is from the FMCSA, you have to have access to those documents to provide to them.
You do have to have access to them.
If they're on your phone, no, that is classified as access. You don't have to have the book as long as you have it all on your phone.
Right, like you can show them and stuff like that. But I just put it in a binder and hand the binder to them because it's the easiest thing ever in my entire life.
It is.
You walk into DOT with a binder, they know that you've got your crap together and you know what you're doing, and that's an impressive thing. They see that as impressive.
I had my first inspection in Wyoming 2 weeks ago, actually, and I passed. Nothing wrong.
You brought up a topic that's interesting. It's actually a massive problem inside the trucking industry right now, and it goes back a few steps. But no, we have the problem we're having in the industry, and this goes to box trucks. It goes to Class 8 as much as it does yours. Is we have a lot of people who think their value is higher than the work that they put in, and that's a major problem in every industry, including the trucking right now, is people value themselves at a much higher rate than what their value or what their work value really is. They think they're owed more because somebody says, well, you're valuable.
Right.
You're only as valuable as the work that you put in.
Right. Like, for me specifically, he was like, I was like, you don't have to praise me for helping you do the right thing. I don't want your company to fail. I want it to grow. And then I helped him like with his fuel bill. He's like, I don't even know what my operating cost is. Can you help me? And I'm like, okay, take the rental, take your insurance, take your ELD, take your tolls, take your fuel bill, and take your driver pay. Add all that together, and that will give me a rough estimate of what I need. And then I said, also, you need to take the average. You need to take the miles that you do every week, divided by your rate per mile, which if your rate per mile is $1.96 or whatever, times however many miles, I don't know what that comes out to, but I was like, that's what you need to be figuring out. What is your rate per mile for all of these miles that you traveled? You cannot tell me that.
You need to you have to go more than that. Yes, you have to bring in all of the bills for the business, but he also needs to be able to include any personal expenses that are included in that he's going to be paying out of that. And also you have to include your profit margin. Because if your budget, if it's going to be like 12 to 15% profit margin, then you need to go through and say, well, my cost is $2. So a 10% profit margin on that is 20 cents. So we need to be at 220 or above to hit our goals.
And that's not mentioning that you should be accounting for a maintenance fund as well.
We don't have maintenance and repairs on ours because it's a rental.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about that. But you still do have to worry about, you have to put together a proper budget at the beginning of the year on what your goals are. So, but yeah,
he didn't know any of that, and I helped him out. His operating cost, when I had the insurance, the ELD, the tolls, because I figured out what his average toll is, his fuel bill, and his driver pay when he was paying the driver. His operating cost was almost $1.72 or $1.74 a mile. So I have to be hitting over that just for him to profit. But I'm the driver now, so I guess that would kind of be, obviously you would include your own driver pay in that as well, obviously what you're going to pay yourself, obviously. I know some don't. I know some of them don't. They'll be like, they'll take the driver pay out, and you can't do that. You have to pay yourself something. And, but for me, I don't have to worry about a maintenance fund, even if the truck breaks down, right? Because they're going to come get the truck. They're going to come bring me another truck. They're going to tow this truck, and I'm going to be right back down the highway. So I've already done it once. I mean, that's the benefit of me having to rent. Like Rocky I think he had this conversation with me, do not buy a truck. So I went a little different route, and I went and rented a truck with him. It's like $600 a week, which is pretty cheap for us. I mean, not that high.
Bro, hold on. You're paying in a month what I pay for a tractor trailer to be bought and paid for.
Well, yeah, but then again, I don't have to worry about.
You don't have maintenance, Cupcake. You've got maintenance. He doesn't.
I don't have to
All
worry
that's
about
in there.
that.
Now,
I don't have to worry
let's
about.
clarify this, Dylan. Let's clarify this. Me and Chris and
Yes.
several others told you not to buy a truck
Correct.
because you have a pregnant wife at home that
Correct.
does not even have a car to
Right.
get to doctor's appointments, and you had no money.
Right. Now, I did.
Is why we told you you're not ready to be in business. Don't buy a truck. Don't rent a truck. Don't borrow a truck. Go drive for somebody else and just make money, is what we told you. So let's tell the whole story.
I know. But my wife said, hey, if you're going to do anything and you want to do this, rent the truck. Do not buy a truck. Don't finance a truck. Don't lease a truck. Just rent it and be done with it. Like, that's what she pretty much told me, and that's what she gets.
That whole motto is good for like maybe the first year.
Yeah.
That way you can test the waters on everything, see if you're actually going to make money doing it and all that. And you can walk away at the end of the lease and not owe anything.
Right.
But after that, you need to take like half your profits and invest into a truck if you're going to continue to do it after that.
We have talked about it, but I told him, like, he has expressed to me that he wants to. He's expressed to me that he wants to go and get a brand new truck, and I said I don't feel comfortable doing that. If I'm going to put my money to anything, we're buying this truck basically outright and be done with it, and that's it. Like, I can
tell you this. So, Dylan, this is how this works when it comes to buying equipment. You got two ways to go. One, you buy brand new and you deal with a warranty, okay? Or two, you buy used and you save up for maintenance. And you still basically have the same payment. And I promise you this, I've done it myself. My buddy BJ has done it. He literally went from a used truck that didn't cost a lot, was spending so much every month for maintenance, and then turned around and he bought a new truck. Same amount of money's going out, he just now has warranty. So it's really a wash on that.
I did ask them about this truck specifically, what would be their process, because I was just curious. I was like, what is your process if he wants to finance this truck? They said, well, he's only been open 2 months. We would encourage him to be with us for another 6 months to a year before we would decide to basically finance a truck to him.
Right.
Now,
yeah, people don't just finance for any reason. So,
well, it's enterprise, and they do have, depending on where you go, they do have very somewhat decent rates.
Yes, but you gotta, what I mean finance, I'm talking about writing a loan to where against somebody who's only been in business for 2 months. That's a huge risk.
I told him, you do not need to be buying a truck. You need to rent this truck. That's it. That's final. And he basically said, okay, you know more about it. I'm going to let you run it. I'm going to go back to work at the airport. Which he works at the airport over Kentucky, Albany. Where is it at? Lexington, Kentucky is where he works at the airport. But he basically lets me handle everything.
Right.
So, but I book the loads because I know what our operating cost is, so I know what to do and what not to do. So his previous dispatcher that he had was just booking stuff to book stuff, basically, just to keep him on the road. And I was like, no, you cannot keep just signing these rate cons without looking at your operating costs. So, and lo and behold, he was like, well, I'm going to let you deal with that. So, I mean, it does give me a lot of headache. I will give you that. Like, it is very stressful having to figure out compliance, having to figure out drivers, having to figure out operating costs, having to take this truck to do maintenance, having to deal with brokers and customers and shippers. And I will admit, it is a headache. It is very, very stressful. I can admit that for once.
Yeah, I know. I got rid of all those headaches. It's been great.
And the thing about it is, do I love it? Absolutely. Like, my wife, basically, I've taught her how to dispatch too a little bit here and there. She can do dispatching, I've taught, for me, if I want to be home every weekend, I can do that as long as I'm making profit, obviously.
Right.
Like, I will be in Naples, Florida, in the bottom by Miami, which I don't like, but I had to do it to go pick up our co-driver. And then I got another load that I'm going to go up to, what's it called, Lakeland, Florida?
Yeah.
I'll go up there, and then I'll shoot a load down to Georgia for Friday. So, you know, I mean, that'll be kind of decent. Not that that's not something that I want to do, but it is better than nothing. So I told him, I was like, I could have flew you to Atlanta and then did it. He was like, I don't like going into Florida. It's just not worth it for me.
Right.
Like, the load I'm taking to Florida is barely paying anything, so it's probably going to barely pay anything to come out of Florida. Like, the load that I did before is not the one that I dispatched, so that had nothing to do with me. I had to pick it up in New Jersey.
JJ, you are not lying, bro. I 100% agree with that one. I have watched enough of those guys out there.
I don't know anything about Super Ego besides they're a crook company.
Well, we've been on here for about 2 hours, and I've got some paperwork and stuff that I need to get done. So
I got about an hour and a half till I'll reach this truck stop. So,
but it was good to talk to you again, Dylan. You know, like I said, buddy, if you need anything, get over there on the website, reach out to us, see what we can do to help you. Appreciate everybody coming in and listening live. Maybe try to go again live here this weekend. We, Matt and Sam and myself have been rather busy here lately with everything going on, especially with the petition coming out for removing the sexual dangerous persons.
They put something about FOPT on the news the other day, actually.
Yeah, we're the ones that wrote the petition that we have for the rulemaking comment period on the FMCSA right now for paper logs. So
it was on the news.
That's us.
Oh, I didn't know that. It was on the news. It was interesting. I was just reading it, listening to it. So.
Yes, sir. But we're going to hop off here, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Talk to you later. See you, Mike.
Later, bud.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.